All right, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome back. It is time for Granblue Fantasy to launch on Steam, so I decided to host a more just Q&A chill stream. Also, I'm probably getting sick, so I really didn't want to have to try to get the headache that is Chaos Zero Nightmare and trying to farm for the last couple saves I needed. Still doing all the read it back, farming in the background and all that stuff, but just was a bit under the weather. So on the left, we have my standard account. That is the one that I've been playing for a very long time, like multiple years. You can see I'm at rank 360. Definitely probably should be 400 already for how much I've been playing, but in reality, I have not done like as much as the Akaram, which is one of the game modes that is usually the way that you max out your rank, which rank isn't really all that important after like 225, I think it is. Anything after that's just kind of like a nice to have because that's like where the last unlock hits. But, you know, some people really do want to play the higher tier stuff and show that they're like 400 plus and all that stuff. So you can start on the mobile browser today if you want. There is something called Mobage where you can just, this is my browser. There's nothing special about this, but this one is my browser. And if you want to, I would I would actually recommend starting there for 2 different reasons. One is that you get better conversion rate, and we knew this was going to happen, and anyone who tells you otherwise is kind of talking out of their ass and full of themselves. But one of the really nice thing, at least for us in the States, right? Why is my cable stuck? One of the really nice things about us, for those of us in the States, if you use the browser version, you get to pay in yen. And I would assume in most other places, the yen is pretty weak. So if you are someone who's going to be spending on a gacha, you get so much more, value, currency, and all that stuff if you just play in the browser. Now, they are working on a point of crossing these over. So at some point, you'll be able to buy in the browser and then hopefully use it in the Steam client as well, or just, do your pulls on the browser client and then come into Steam. Because if you look at the GBF coins, oh, I had this pulled up earlier. Maybe I have to go in and draw. Yeah, I guess it is saying you can only use these in order to rotate. Yeah, so the GBF coins are absolutely insanely priced. But again, it's in USD, and it's more of what we would expect. Like, if you play Shadowverse, if you play other side games, it's exactly what you would expect. There's no, like, people were review bombing this already for that reason, but it's just like, no, dude, if you've literally played any side game, you know what to expect here. So I would recommend, again, if you want to get started, if you are somebody who's going to be playing a long time, it might actually be better just to go all in on the browser instead, and they are going to cross them over at some point. However, I want to take today, at least check out the Steam client. I know that it is interesting. It has like the couple extra bars. We do, of course, have Roulette as one of the main draws to the holiday, which is just a shit ton of free pulls, basically. And it's really cool because it is a way that, especially if you're a new player, it's a great way to ramp up your account. If you are someone who wants to reroll, I would recommend rerolling for a sub called Basilbub, which I'll pull up really quickly on my own account. Because Bubs, or affectionately known as Bubs, is the best summon that you can get as a new player. And so this is the one that everyone usually recommends, that if you are rerolling, you can reroll it. And then your best single character target is Percival, but you can always get him later, where the Beelzebub is a very, this series called Providence is very hard otherwise to get the summon. So if you're going to reroll and do all that, definitely recommend going for the Bub summon. I just want to play the account I made on my Steam on my phone, but it sounds like I can't. Yeah, you are unable to at this time. But again, there's nothing stopping you from just starting on browser, especially if you want to reroll, right? If you want to start on browser and then carry it over to Steam eventually, that can certainly work as well. Anyway, so I want to talk through some of the anniversary stuff itself, just for the sake of the start of the stream. So we have the Roulette. I will always recommend picking the Idealist. Realist is if you just want, like, you want to hit the averages, you want to get, like, the on average most amount of rolls. But earlier today, I got 100 free pulls on my main account by going with the Idealist. Because, look, if we're playing a gacha, we're going to gamble, right? Like, if we're going to gamble as much as possible. So that's why you always want to take the Idealist route where you can, because this will give you up to 100 free rolls. And then it can also help upgrade randomly too. Or it goes into either 100 free rolls, or you pull until you get a free SSR, which is the 5-star, the top rarity in this game. So we're going to start this off with a little bit of a gamble. See what we get for our Roulette. And yeah, this outside wheel is something new that they've added for this anniversary in particular. It's basically just a bunch of extra stuff you can get. You can get extra pulls, which is nice. Some high-end materials, but, you know, once you start playing enough, all you care about is hitting the extra pulls here. So let's see what we get for our start. It'd be really crazy if it goes right into the break, which is this one. Nope. 20 plus a ring. So 20 free draws, really can't complain about this. And then you'll notice it goes into the break mode after it gives me the ring. Thank you. So there's this bar, and basically the worse you roll, the quicker that this bar will deplete. And once this bar depletes all the way, or if you hit this like little lightning bolt area, it'll go into break mode, which means you pull until you get a SSR. However, we do have 20 pulls here. Oh, this is our, I forgot about our reroll. Beginner pull, thank you. So you get a free 10 pull just for jumping on in. Last slot usually means that it's going to be a new character. This is an older one, so I'm not sure. Oh, Jesus. OG Zeta. Sure. That is the old Zeta. So the other nice thing is, as a new player, you will also get free draws, a free 10 pull. I think they give you 100 free pulls, if I remember correctly, starting off. So you'll get those every day on reset. Yep, it was fire. The OG, you know, 2007 Zeta, or however long it's been now. And then once we come into roulette, you'll go down here and you'll see we got 2 free draws. Excuse me, 2 10 pull free draws. So nothing on the first one, it looks like. Of course, it's a new account, so we'll have new characters to look forward to. There are new characters at Rare, SR, and SSR, of course. Lo Wayne, love to see those guys. All right, lots of new characters. Oh, God, I forgot Korwa has a SR version. I use Korwa on quite a few teams, as it were. Okay, very nice. Getting SSR on our second 10 pull of the day. Not quite the last slot, but again, newer account, so 5 new units to look forward to here. Again, all these are going to be lower rarity stuff that we're going through. These are generally not characters you're going to use for anything in particular, but they are good for achievements in game to give you extra crystals and extra stuff like that for extra pulls down the road. Is that Societ? Oh, it's UL and Sos. Yep. Nice. Forgot what that... So, Dark Element. So, nothing like too crazy so far on this account. We did do a scratcher earlier and get Lucifer, which is a very strong summon later on, but not something that we really want to use right now. Talking through some others here. We'll just skip this really quick. Oh, is it going to make me go through more tutorial stuff? Never buy this with crystals, by the way. Never spend your premium currency on elixirs. It's basically like refreshes, revives, stuff like that, right? So the power-up packs, this is where it starts to get into like spender only territory. And again, these say 5,000 Granblue Fantasy coins, which I believe is straight 50 bucks on Steam. I forget now. Let's see if we can just pull it up really quick. What did I say? 5,000? Okay, so it's 40? Or wait, is that right? 5,000 GBF coins? Oh, that's only a little bit more expensive than global. Interesting. People were saying it was a lot worse, but if it's 80 for 10,000 and it's normally 35, so yeah, it's like 10 bucks more. I guess it's like, obviously, you know, save 10 bucks by going on the browser version, but people are like making a really big deal on this on Twitter, and I didn't see the conversion factors yet, but this is honestly not as bad as I would have expected. Should I start this game as a free-to-play? You certainly can, and I will say that Granblue Fantasy is a game that there is always something to do. I've been playing for a little over 3 years now, and I am still not done with everything that there is to do in the game. If you want to go free-to-play, though, one of the most important things to know is... Let me pull up my account again. Characters. There is a series of characters called the Eternals and the Evokers. These characters are going to be something that you can get for free in-game just by playing and farming out the materials. And you'll see that like these characters are, you know, the max level, really good meta staples for every single element. Now, some of them are a little bit better than others. I think Water, we got really lucky, all things considered, between Fiaur and Uno. Both being very, very good high-level characters. The one thing I will really stress, as a free-to-play player, you do not get to pick your element. You are at the mercy of whatever the game gives you for key grands, and you go from there. This is not a game that, even with all the free pulls, all their generosity, even as someone who is a pretty heavy spender if you consider anniversary pulls, but throughout the year I don't spend a lot. It's always anniversary is the one big spend time because there's always so many good tickets to pull through, which we're going to go and talk through all those. But this is very much like the element picks you, and you just keep upgrading that over time. So for me personally, I am a water main. So I will go to my party really quickly. So I know this just looks like a bunch of gear that won't make a lot of sense, but this is a very high investment. This takes like years to put together sort of grid, unless you just pay out the wazoo, which again, you can if you really want to. But from a free-to-play player, there's also something called a Magna Grid. So as a free-to-play player, again, I want to stress that you can clear everything in this game strictly free-to-play. You just have to do a lot of grinding. So if you are somebody who enjoys a free-to-play challenge, and if you really love learning deep mechanics about a game, then yes, I think this is a very nice free-to-play game that you can start up with, because there are ways you can get free characters like the Evokers, the Eternals, and what have you, that do give you a lot of power in your account. Yes, browser version is at least better for now because it is cheaper for getting like these types of pulls. Because like, again, I will, I think I still have Mobage points, so I can't buy a... I always forget how to... I always forget where the Mobage points are because I always just do it from the normal top up. Oh, there. Not from there. But yeah, so the long story short is like you save 10 bucks, or I'm sorry, you save like $7 on each one of these 5,000 coin purchases that you make. The other thing that you might want to start with on, yeah, thank you, Bree, is for Skyleap, is you'll actually notice that this is in the browser, but it's actually running through on your phones. There is something called Skyleap that it is, again, just through your phone. It's a separate app that you get, and you launch the game through that. And as you're playing, like as you're doing your raids, as you're doing your just normal playing, you're going to accrue these points. These points are important because, I don't think it shows me because I already bought it. Yeah, I already bought it, so you can't see it now. But one, there's a lot of good monthly stuff in here to buy anyways, but you also get a free SSR for doing the Skyleap. So there's a lot of incentives, which actually, now that I'm curious, do they probably don't even show it then in the... and forgive me, like I'm learning this new UI myself, like literally in real time as well. Why do I not just see... Let's do it this way, I guess. Other trades. Oh, interesting. They do have... There you go. They Do you get Skyleap points for Steam then? Huh. Maybe. So anyways, here you go. Here is 3 free SSR character weapons that you can get, which again will be very, very nice to get. You want to get, obviously, as many SSRs as you can. So this is another thing to look out for and just try to get a freebie of. And otherwise, like the earrings, these are like character upgrade materials for like permanent stats. Otherwise, you are really just trying to buy the pots every month, because once you really start playing, you will go through a lot of pots. And then flawed prisms, they've made this a lot easier to get now, which is really, really nice. But those free characters that I was mentioning, the Eternals and the Evokers, or I should say just the Eternals, the Evokers don't need them. But the flawed prisms are really important because those are how you upgrade the weapons to get the Eternals. So you need like literally thousands of these once you go through and you get all the Eternals. But you do get them over the day of you just like doing dailies and stuff. So... what are some other... Let's just, like, go down the list of these. So, step-up specials. Step-up specials are typically one of the best values that you can get in this game outside of just the pick ticket. Because within these tickets, it's a free spark. And a spark, for those that don't know, is the term that Granblue Fantasy is known for, the one that in the gacha community overall, because it means after you get 300 pulls, you guarantee and get to pick one of your characters. So... and unfortunately, this is like kind of a weak banner to start on for new players also, which is kind of a bummer. But you can't really do much about that. So you kind of don't want either of these characters, admittedly. But if we go into, or I guess not this one. Does it show me the spark from here? There it is, selectable items. If you go into selectable items, this is where you can see all the grand characters, which grands are important because those are, as I showcased on my own team, this is what the like end game teams are built around. So like these weapons get used on these various teams. So let me use not a, that is a burst build. That one doesn't really, sure, there we go. So who else is on this banner? I guess it would be Folia. Let me find Folia again. There you go. So this item right here on my game is this character Folia. So these characters are going to be important for late game when you're trying to go primal and all that stuff. Otherwise, for like new players, the only one that's really important for quality of life stuff is going to be Percival. Like, if you can have the best account start possible, in my opinion at least, you would want to re-roll until you get Bubs, and then hope you get Percival from your just free pulls as you're going along. Percival is still the best character in the game and is just single-handedly one of the best quality of life units because his S3 ability is just absolutely busted for what it does. And when we talk about all the farming that you have to do in the game, Percival is the one character that just makes that so much easier. And what's funny too is like I did not get Percival until like 2.5 years of playing, and Bree, she is a Fire Lord or just Fire main, so she's had Percival forever. And once I realized how much easier it is to farm on her account and what I was struggling through until I got this character, the one button difference is really, really nice. And yes, the collab side stories are also worth a lot of currency as well, which is really nice to farm as well. Can I explain the draw tickets? Do you mean like the regular gacha tickets or something else? Because I'm just going down through the all the events that are going on right now. So, really quickly though, to finish the conversation on Step Up, this is, again, from a purely, value start, especially if you're on browser and this only costs $35. For me personally, as somebody who's been playing for, 4 years or whatever it's been now, I will literally always buy the Step Up. One, because I'm a spender. Obviously, don't spend the money if you don't have it. But generally, you just get a lot of good value in doing these. And it's also a discounted spark, which is really nice because once you get to the end game, you'll find out like, oh, I just need one more of these characters to get one more of their weapons, and I can finish like this grid that I'm working on. So if anyone ever says grid to you, by the way, they just mean your weapon grid and your summon grid here, because these are like the two main things that make up the course of this game. A lot of the power, yes, characters are important, but your grid is really where the majority of it comes from, and this is like its own puzzle to figure out. So if you can, the step-up specials are actually quite good. And again, the pulls that you get, or the selector, I would very strongly wait on any selectable pulls, meaning if you go to, wrong one again, any time that it tells you that, hey, you have a selectable unit, or hey, you've done your spark, now select something. Wait until the last day that you have to redeem this, because we're going to get a shit ton of free pulls with roulette and all that stuff. So you don't want to end up sparking something or selecting something and you end up getting it on roulette. Nothing will feel worse, I promise you. Yep, and Bree got me in the chat as well. Beginner's draw set. This is I forget what the actual name of it. Subtics. Surprise tickets that you'll get. These are generally really cool because it allows you to pick from a pretty wide list of just random stuff that you might need. I'm gonna go to water because it's the one I can talk about. Why is it not giving me? Oh, I was on the wrong tab. There we go. Hold on. I'm like, why is there no SSRs? There we go. So this will let you choose between a rather extensive list of characters. But again, this is something that will, thank you again, come back every so often. So this one is 100% fine to not worry about right now. You'll get it. I think it's like every 2 months it comes back. And this is definitely one that you can wait on because, especially like for me, I needed Zeta for like the longest time. I could just not get her and she's a core water piece. So I just had to wait until the next year, or usually you'll get these like half anniversaries or full anniversaries. They'll do these tickets again, but it's a great way to work on finishing a core element team. But this one for beginners specifically will come back every so often. And then I think they actually put Providences in here as well, if I remember correctly. Some of them. Nope, not in the beginner one, but I think the other one there is. So beginner draw set, I would definitely recommend waiting on this one. Birthday step up special. This is what we had already purchased. This is the same thing that I just talked about with the new fair step up special. It is a discounted spark. You get 300 pulls for 50 bucks, or in this case for Steam version 50 bucks, 35 bucks if you play if you pay it on browser. And again, I am always going to speak in US dollars. If it's a different region, you might have different conversion rates and all that stuff. Apologies. Can't help with all that. But this is another one where it's really great because you do get to, at the end of it, pick a character that is, once again, going to have a lot of really good options in here. Spoiler, Percival is in here again. Not to make a bunch of Fire Lords, in the chat, but Percival is quite a good quality of life improvement. Yeah, that's probably a good point to bring up. Oh, that's right, my computer crashed right before stream, so I don't have the window open. If you're not familiar with it, I would always, the number one thing I would recommend is get very comfortable looking up stuff on the wiki. And honestly, this is probably why I've struggled so much. Again, because I've been playing gachas obviously for a while now and only more recently started the channel, but I truly underestimated how good we have it in Granblue Fantasy and how amazing our curators are for getting all this content in one piece. So if you ever need help like putting together teams or looking up what's good or tier lists and all that stuff, literally you can just do it all from the wiki. And the one thing I want to mention, right, because that is a good example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's currently 8 different versions of Zeta, and 7 if we don't want to count the duo one. Because, spoiler, Zeta was one of the original characters from the society that you met pretty early on in, I think it was like right after. Yeah, so example, her release date was, 12/31. December 31st, 2014. And this is the one that we actually just pulled for, or just got as well. Now, what is cool about Granblue Fantasy is every now and again, they will go back and give uncaps to characters. So by default, most SSRs have 4 stars. You can see here that it says 5-star art. So they went back at some point. You can see here, she launched in 2014. She got a major upgrade in 2020. So 6 years later, she got her 5-star uncap. And whenever they do this, it usually does make the character meta relevant again. One of the best examples in the game, which is one of my favorite characters as well. One of the best examples in the game is actually Europa. So she launched in 2018 and she was dog water unusable. Okay, she was niche, but like nobody used her, right? And then she got one of the best 5-star uncaps in 2024 that she is immediately like triple S tier, God tier character for water accounts. And it's just like those upgrades, now they're not all bangers like Europa's, but if you have a favorite character and they don't have their final limit break yet, they'll eventually get it. I think they do it every other month is usually when they were doing uncaps. And they just go and update the roster. So this is also something to look forward to. But on that note of tier lists, what I do want to stress is, as with any tier list, keep in mind these are always subjective. And yes, that does look like there is a lot on here. There is, but this is also why I want to stress that you should only care about one element and think about what you get after roulette ends, after you get all your free account pulls, all that stuff. What I would personally recommend doing is going into the grids page. So this is the grids page, and the first row is called Magna. This is your free-to-play, basically, teams, which, again, free-to-plays can clear and do all content in this game. And then the last one is Primal, which is the secondary row, which is you either, obviously, you buy into this because you're pulling on things like these scamsha or these step-ups, all those things I talked about, and you eventually work towards these, or if you just play for like 7 years and over the course of like all the anniversaries and all that stuff, like you'll eventually get to Primal as well. There are free-to-play Primal players. They are very rare because, again, most of us will just, they're called scamchas, but basically, like, you roll on an element, you get your character. Most of us will just pay into that instead of having to wait, like, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whenever RNG blesses us with the character. So, what I would recommend is going into each one of these tier lists, scrolling down and just seeing what are the characters that make up the different use cases. And then also you can go down here and just kind of click through some of the teams. There we go. And say, okay, well, who do I have? What should I be looking forward to? Like, what makes up a meta team, etc., etc. And there's Europa again, as I just mentioned. And this will give you an idea of like, okay, well, what do I have pulled? What can I kind of start working towards? And going from there. So that is our step-up special. We have the birthday set. So this is the same thing as the, where is it? Beginner's draw set. However, with this one, there should be more choices. Yes, okay, so there's Bahamut. So Bahamut is one of the Providence series that they added. So you do get the complete range. And this one's also really nice because you can also pick, who's a good example? You can also pick like summer and holiday characters in this one. Oh, they also have all the primal summons too, which is, again, much later problem. Where is... Okay, I wanted to be cheeky and show Bassett, so I'm just going to filter by... There she is. Okay, and then you can also filter by summer characters if you really want to, you know, go see what the other options are. But yes, for the anniversary ticket, I would recommend only using this one on any type of seasonal unit. So you'll see that this one has summer attached to it. Or if we go back to water gun. The one that I just pulled for, Ilsa, she is a formal character, or bridal, which is a new seasonal class that they added because just to spite me, apparently. And then Tian is Halloween. So for the 12th birthday draw set, I would very strongly, again, one, you want to save this until after roulette, get all your free draws, and then consider what seasonal character you might want to go with, because this has to last you the entire year. This is a once-a-year selector that we get, and it is no exaggeration to say that this is the most important selector that we get out of the entire year. Because seasonals can be very difficult to get, especially if they come between two banners that you want to pull on. So do keep that in mind as well. Skyfarer weapon ticket. What is this one? So we have the Grand Knights. We have De La Phil. This is the, by the way, this is the wrong Percival. Do not. None of these are super meta. Interesting. Okay. I guess just to have a more complete team, I guess pick the element that you're leaning towards. That's an interesting lineup. De La Phil did get an uncap, if I remember correctly, but I mean, all these are much older units, so they're not as relevant. Oh, that is literally her 5-star uncap. That's hilarious. I would just use these to round out. Like, none of these are going to be super meta. She is a healer, so I guess if you have, like, if you need sustain, that's good. I mean, yeah, I mean, actually, De La Phil might want to be one of the better ones if you end up going light, just because she's like an early game healer. I hear we can't use old accounts for Steam. Is that true? That is true for now, but they are changing that. You will be able to link your accounts. I guess I'll just throw up my... Never beating the Lucky Scion, right? You mean to say that Lucky Scion looks like Lyria? You gotta remember how old this game is. Divine's Blessing ticket. For this one, this is something called the Divine Generals. Generally, there is one for each month because they're based on the Zodiacs. Something to keep in mind here, again, that this is... I hate to keep repeating myself, but as much as I'm going to say it again. I would save this until after the roulette because these characters do appear in the roulette. So you can get them just by having the pulls, right? I will say, out of all of these, Pela is definitely the best by a pretty significant margin. This was my starting character, which was really nice, but I also have some figures of her and all that stuff. Like, this was my starting banner, and a very core character for water, but there are other use cases for the other generals. But again, unless you are kind of aligned to going into water, I would recommend holding off on this until you, like, absolutely need it. Because I think you can use this until... Oh, no, we do have to use it by the end of March. So some of these will go till end of March. Some of them will last a year, like the 12th birthday ticket. So do keep that in mind as well. But yeah, Pela is definitely the best by a mile. Katura is a very strong secondary choice because she's used in a lot of burst teams, and she's really good in all elements, so do keep that in mind as well. But this is something that I would, again, hold off till you figure out which ones you get. But for me personally, Pela definitely being the MVP of this. I always go Idealist because we are playing a gacha and we're here to gamble. Uh, 12th birthday weapon. So this one's interesting because they added the Xenos a little bit ago, and these are generally really good main hand options. Not Xeno, Exo, excuse me. Exo weapons have some really good main hand options. This one does last until February of next year. So this is one that you generally hold until much later on. And you randomly need one of these weapons because with the example of Exo weapons, these are tied to events which only run every few months. So it might be a very long time until the element that you care about rolls back around. So I would recommend holding on to this until you find yourself in a spot where you really need it. The rest of the weapons, I personally wouldn't really recommend. The only other one I know a lot of people... What used to be the best choice before the Xeno weapons got updated was in the Menace category with Agonize, because this weapon sucks to farm. Nobody likes doing this raid boss anymore. It was very difficult when it came out. But this is like a very nice mid-game option if you are using a dark element. You do need a full team of... Holy shit, you scared me. What's up? Spider? Jesus. You do need a full team of 5. There are some sub-element stuff that can play a role, but we will... I can talk about team comps here in a little bit, but just assume that you're going to want 5 characters, all of one element. So there's a spider. I will be right back. All right. So where does that leave us? God, there is a lot of stuff, huh? Birthday outfits. So skins in this game are, well, one, if you like, cosmetics. All the cosmetics always come with a free, well, you either view it as you pay for a 10 pull, you get a free skin, or you buy a skin and get a free 10 pull. Whichever way you want to rationalize that, right? But the anniversary skins, they actually do a pretty banger job. I will probably end up buying, I'll definitely buy Vicky, because she's one of my main characters for Water Element. And then the Seiphon, I actually like his Yukata one still more. So I don't know if I'll end up buying that one. P.S. The Astrals, this is the main story event that's going on right now. Story events will always have free loot, to get free gems, free currency, right? It's just like your normal story events in any other gacha game. The thing I will say is that the story in Granblue Fantasy, in my opinion, is a lot better than other options out there. So I would recommend like getting into it, getting into the lore and all that stuff. I realize it's not for everybody, but there is like actually a lot to read for each one of these updates. And it does help that this is like the anniversary story. So it's 3 chapters and there's a lot going on. So if you go to Sense of the Blue Will, this is our anniversary event talking about the different, we're on Act 2 right now. And once you play through it, there'll be like little visual updates that happen here as well. Festival of Falling Flame. Oh, one of the side quests. Oh yeah, and then the Step Up Classic special. So once again, another one of those step ups that we talked about. It is $50 or $35 if you use the browser for a free spark. What is important about this one, this is like a one-time deal that they did. However, what is nice about this is inside the selectors, they added this guy, which is one of the province summons and is really good to get. And I have been playing for 4 years, right? And I did not get this guy a single time. So it's really cool that you can get him very easily. He's just like a free damage amp, so to speak, for teams. Like he has more reasons and utility than that, but he has this effect: supplemental damage up to 15%, 15,000 per hit. So really important for burst teams, and also just a badass. Finish my beginner step up. Want to know who to choose between Horse or Percy? Don't do any of your selectors yet. Wait until the end of Roulette. But yeah, for us veterans, like this classic step up, which is basically their way of removing older characters from the standard pool, because otherwise things go into standard unless they're grand characters. But, you know, obviously over multiple years, you have too much character bloat. So they make these classic banners, which have certain characters or summons. But as far as I know, this is a one-time deal that you can select Belial. So pretty much every single veteran player is getting this and getting Belial if they don't have them maxed out already. And I think that's everything because I already did my I did my scratchers. Oops, where is my... I did my scratches already, and I got a free SSR, which is really nice. And then I also got a free Lucifer, which is, again, one of those Providence summons, which is... this is, like, a very, very late game thing, but, you know, you'll get stuff to uncap summons eventually, but just getting them to start is the most important thing. So, funny enough, this counter has one Lucifer, but scratchers are just RNG, more free stuff that you get. So, I already got a notable summon on my free account, and then I also got a free pull here as well. And I think that's it for at least the stuff on the side. Oh, these are just junk tickets. Sure. So the max level weapon draw tickets are just for like recruiting more characters. So great. We got a Helnar and we got a Farah. Oh, I forgot she actually had a rare version. Wow. She's come a long way. And then these last ones are just SR, SSR chances that you can just like kind of throw into the void, as it were. What's the realist route versus ideal? So idealist is just saying that if you don't believe in luck, you will, if you roll completely average, you'll get more. But idealist is for You know, the Gamba, we try to get the most amount of pulls possible. Oh, are these not the special SSR ones? Oh, I guess these are the standard. They're just the 12th birthday. I thought that these were the ones that are from a pool of SSRs. So there's two types of SSR tickets. There's ones that will be from a guaranteed pool, which means just use them whenever. Or this one where it says just flat out, it's a normal draw ticket. You want to save this for the Flash or Leg Gala, which happens on the 15th and the 30th each month. I will personally always tell people to choose Idealist because we are gambling. We love the Gamba. If you are somebody who wants to reroll, the only... actually, you know what? I should... Hold on. I can make an image for this. That is a good question to bring up, though. There is only one reroll target. And I can make that an image of that really quickly. Give me a second to clear this up a bit. Outline. Oh, why did my outline not work? Would help if I made it the right color. Desktop. Man, that font does not look... There we go. This game free-to-play scale from 1 to 10, 0 if not. You can clear everything in this game free-to-play. 100%. This game is very much like, if you have to put the time into it, though. Like, if you are someone who enjoys free-to-play challenges and you want to grind it out, then yes, you can actually clear this game free-to-play. Screen at least. All right, it might be covering some stuff, but I'm going to go with that. Yeah, so the reason why this guy is what we would consider a reroll target is because if you don't get him now, you effectively have to trade moons. You have to get, I have to get out of this, something called a Serios special pick ticket. This special pick ticket costs 150 gold moons. The only way that you get gold moons is by rolling on dupes of SSRs. And spoiler, even with all the free pulls that you do get, and again, you will get, I don't know, it's like what? We get 3 sparks a year, which is 900 pulls. Or is it like 2.5? I don't know. Let's just say 900 pulls a year. I forget what the exact number is between anniversary, if you high roll on roulette, all that stuff, right? It is still going to take you, as a free-to-play player, it probably will take you the entire year to get 150 gold moons, especially as a new player. Your first year, you might not even get 150 in your first year. It is something you'll have to build up your account for and have to wait until the next anniversary to, like, finish, and then you'll get 150 gold moons. But this is definitely like the way to pick, this is your golden ticket of anything in the game that you missed out on and you really wanted, especially like those Providence summons that we were talking about. That is what you'd roll on. However, I play devil's advocate with this one because I spent 150 moons on a summon called Yadama, and then I got her during the very next event. Which, again, it's all RNG. There is no way that I could have accounted for that. It is what it is. But, and I'll just go to that really quickly so you know what I'm talking about. So, doop, boop, boop, boop. So here's my Yadama collection. After I spent 150 gold moons on her, and now she has appeared multiple times. And let me tell you how good it does not feel. So, the other thing that I personally recommend now, because I've been burned so bad on it, unless it is something that, like, you absolutely need and, like, it is the key piece for your grid that you missed out on. For me personally, I always say, especially now that they're buffing these for whatever ungodly reason, there's this weapon series called the Illustrious Weapons, and these cost 150 gold moons. Spoiler, they're also adding a upgraded version of these, meaning you're going to want 200 gold moons because you spend 150 gold moons to get it, and then you spend another 50 gold moons to upgrade them. And so there's a whole different tier list with the Illustrious Weapons that I'm not going to get into. But this is something that even if you aren't a Primal player, which as I mentioned is at like that super high invested, you have like a fully kitted out account, all that stuff. Some of these Gold Moon weapons you still want as a free-to-play player. The best example of this is going to be Hunting. Even if you are someone who is completely free-to-play, this is like most often the #1 recommended weapon that people will say from a Illustrious Moon perspective, because the Earth element goes from like just okay to absolutely cracked once you get this weapon. And it is a super low investment beyond getting the 150 gold moons that you need, where my key weapon, Hrace Velger, you have to do this whole thing called bullet farming, which I'll spare you the details, but very long story short, you have to spend like 150 gold moons to get this item, or to get this weapon, and then you need to spend about, I don't know, 50 to 100 hours grinding the bullets to actually use this weapon at full potential. And spoiler, I have not finished that grind yet. So these are something to keep in mind as you're gaining gold moons, and a very much, later me, later you consideration. How come Walford had a whole cutscene thing? So all characters have a animation on their charge attacks, or I guess I'll put up on this one. So, oops. This little animation that plays in the preview, this is their charge attack animation. I mean, water is not bad, all things considered. Like, you can have a Magna team and just be very okay with water. Oh, and you pulled him? Well, I did not pull him, so I don't know if there's like a new character animation or not for them. Can I marry Narmaya and Eliza? Well, funny enough, there is something. What is the easiest way to get to that screen? So you can see this little ring icon that is on my Yadama. This little one on the left-hand side, this little ring icon. So there is something. Bonuses. Oh, does it not even show the option because I've already put a ring on her? Maybe we have to put a ring on Fiower. Yep, there you go. So, there is this special ring called the Perpetuity Ring, which you will get. You'll get a lot of these as you're playing, like, down the road. So, I still have 8. I think I've used like 6 at this point. And I think there's even more than that. So it's neat. You give them this item. You have the little ring icon. And then what's important about that ring is that they actually do get a pretty noticeable stat upgrade. So you can see here, permanent mastery bonus. This is everything that she gained from having that ring. So there's basically 2 schools of logic for your rings. Use it on your waifu or favorite character, and then use it on your characters that you're going to be taking into high level, because having the extra HP buff can actually be really nice. And again, you get a shit ton of these for free as you play through the game. I wouldn't recommend just using them on whoever. Obviously, save them for important characters, but if I go back to my profile, I guess I don't have all of them selected. But you can see I have quite a few ringed characters. I'm probably gonna ring MT after her uncap. What's ultimate memory? Memory or mastery? Because mastery is for like uncapping skills and whatnot. Or is ultimate memory the name of the USB for Bahamut? What is that item called? Oh, it is. Is it the USB that I just cannot find for some reason? Oh, Subaha. Oh, my. Oh. Yeah, ultimate memory is a weapon for the Dark Opus items, which is a later upgrade thing that you're going to need. This is a, like, start of endgame style of item. Is it using ultimate weapon too? Damn. But yeah, if I go to my raid list, and if I go to this guy, Rage of Super Ultimate Bahamut, he will drop the ultimate memory. Ultimate weapons are the next progression. Oh, yeah, it is right after Seraphic. So there's like one very niche rainbow team, but yeah, because of the way that grids work, they always buff a single element. And maybe that's like a good talking point too, is that when you're making a team, you'll notice that things will have like small boost to water allies attacking critical hit rate. So you'll want to always stack up all of these from the, when you're building a team all around one element to get the most amount of skills. And then if you go down here to the right item, you'll get to see all the different skills that you have equipped from your various gears. So like, obviously this is a endgame setup for what it looks like. So this is where it gets really complicated of like, I want to stress too, like, if you want to just copy a team off the wiki, you absolutely can. Just go to, again, go to the grids page. You can literally just go down, copy this. You're great. Have a good time, right? But if you're somebody who loves min-maxing and figuring out, like, new team comps before other people, this game is so unexplored because there's so many damn options that there is just truly not enough. Like, every time a new event comes around or a new guild war, there's always some random ass person on Twitter who has this like most cracked out build that even us veterans are like, dude, how does this work? Like, what are you doing? And then you see their video of them like going through the run and you're like, oh shit, that actually works. Like, there is so much undiscovered team comps and synergy still in this game that yes, there is stuff that is good enough and can clear content, but my God, you can get lost in the weeds of this if you really start to build out teams. But yeah, so the other thing is I want to actually like click through this and see where is, because again, it's been so long that since I've done it, I don't know what they have for, because I can see that I don't have Sirio's missions yet. I'm trying to remember when those unlock for people, because that is like the most important thing that you can do once you actually start off beyond that. Which I probably have to just do, because there's also a main story skip, which I would recommend, because there's just a lot to go through. And now I'm trying to remember how to access that as well. Unless it really is about to make me go through this. Well, if it does, I mean, let's get what characters did we even have again? I forgot already. So we have Double Dark. Wow, I got 3 limit breaks. You get story skip starting from chapter 2. Perfect. Ko is actually a really good healer for starting off, so that's nice. Again, I'm going to break the rules here a little bit, just for what we have right now. And then, so your MC element, whatever your main weapon is, will determine what element your character is. So in this case, I'm going to try to look for a dark weapon, which I don't have yet, clearly. Well, dang. Yeah, I think it's like 130 that they're supposed to put you out at, if I remember correctly. Something like that. Yeah, I know people didn't love it at first, but like it's very quickly growing on me. I think they did an okay job with this. Oh my God, that is way slower than normal. There's probably a text speed option that I forget. No, that's all that. You can get stickers and stuff. Oh, it still has the element option. God, I can't wait till we can actually get teams over. Also, it's really nice when you're starting off early is that the summons that you'll get from just other random players, they'll probably be strong enough to just one-shot whatever you need. So if you're struggling at a certain stage as you're going through this, just make sure you pick a high level, high level summon. I guess this is like our recruit everybody stage, right? Also for early team builds, Ogi, Kengo, Fantasy is easier to build. Yeah, there's a whole, like, get Relic Buster earlier if you can when you talk about classes. Kengo's, as you mentioned, is a very good choice. Yeah, I know it doesn't, but the graphics do seem to look better. Like, I enjoy the bigger field that we can actually see the battlefield. That said, I probably should be running some raids on my own account while we're trying to skip through this to see where we get. Because we also just got a new class unlocked called Lancer Origin, and I still need to farm the books for that in the back end. So you'll see down here I have like a bunch of little tabs that just are like reminders of random stuff that I've been farming. Oh, yep, here's our little class introduction. So you can see like there is a lot of various classes to get, but the most important one early on is going to be Relic Buster. That should be easier to get. home. Oh, we got a free poll ticket though. Nice. Yes, I definitely recommend leveling all your classes because eventually you're going to need to level all of them anyways, because that is part of the unlock process for the higher tiers. You have to get 20. It'll basically be like get level 20 in 2 different tiers, and then you'll be able to upgrade to the next version of it. Oh no, he got me. Yeah, so here's my normal little window. Here's this big window by comparison, so. Oops. Again, I just need to use this summon. There is, like, element advantage here, of course, which plays a role as you'd expect in just any gacha. You want to make sure you're using the right elements, as it shows, like, in this bottom left corner. Fire into wind, wind into earth, earth into water, and then light and dark are good against each other. So, for MC, generally, you can have a few different options in terms of, like, what your team combination does. It can be quite flexible in that regard, but just depends on what you need in the moment. But again, Relic Buster is going to be one of the best options early on just because it is quite strong at what it does. I think Granblue is definitely a game that, because it's been out for so long and for how good that reroll target is that I have up on screen, which is a Providence summon. If you're at all going to be interested in playing Granblue Fantasy long term, I would probably consider rerolling. I think you could definitely do fine without it, but man, it do be rough if you don't get the right Providences. There we go. Start recap, which I'm not going to watch. Tickets, you get some Magna stuff. Cool. So, I mean, you used to be able to go to like 300 or something insane. Oh god, Unite and Fight. Well, we are not going to talk about Unite and Fight today. Your pal Sirio has a little something to help you solve. Oh, nice. Is this going to be the... Oh, there we go. Okay. So you do get it super early. There it is. Awesome. So, funny enough, they did not have this until like a year ago, maybe. Or maybe it's been 2 years now. But this academy that they added for every element is just straight god tier, because it's going to give you a bunch of upgrades or gear otherwise as you're going through it, and also just gives you a good tutorial on kind of like how to play the game sort of thing. So this is a very nice quality of life and like beginner onboarding system that they added. So we're going to see how many times we have to click through this. Yep, and so now it's going to give us stuff to make a fire grid, which is going to be really important. So we are going to equip to a party. Oh, nice. It automatically gave us a fire team, too. Oh, and it wants us to do the 10 draw that we did earlier. Oh, wait, no, you do get the first 10 pull. My bad. Pretty sure the first 10 pull is a guaranteed on this one. Okay, well, we got a double. I'm not going to say no to that. Great Bow Rondor. That is... Oh, Fino. Tyra! Yeah! All right, I guess we're a dark main account. We have Ko and Tyra already. Yeah, we are definitely we are very dark leaning with this account. Oh, did you just get a... never mind. I guess you get a free 100. Well, shit. Let's do some more gambling. We got 4 books. Nice. We need 7 more books. I don't need a Kengo knockout item. Yeah, no, MC is used on every team. He's always going to be the first person in your party. It's just, he can be a healer, he can be a tank, he can be a main damage dealer, he can be the entire carry of the party. Like, it just depends on what job that you give him, and then what element, or what the element needs. So MC in this game is really nice, especially as you're, like, growing your account, because, like, if you need a healer for any content, you can just use one of the classes for the MC. It might not be as good as one of the, obviously, like, premium healers that you can get for that element. Like, he's no Europa, right, that we talked about earlier, but he would work in a pinch. All right, let's do some more draws, I guess. All right. Raphael? All right, we're getting an Archangel early on. Hell yeah. How to one reroll in Granblue for the Steam client? Actually, that is a good question. We haven't looked into that. I'm assuming that there is a way to delete your account. Oh, yeah, I guess it would be this one, just the clear cache. And it probably resets it from there. All right, well, we got a grand. All right, new player luck, right? Probably a summon. Oh, Jesus, hello. It's a triple, baby. All right, a not. Summon stone, which is, I don't think it's really used in any grids, namely right now. Nene. Oh, that dude has a sick design. That's definitely like a classic GBF character. We got Strum. Give it out for Strum. I just got Drang earlier. Oh, wait, no, the red is, sorry, we got his grand version. I forgot he has the red orb for his old version. Sorry, we did get Drang. Little Vermilion is... Oh, shit, I should know who this is. Damn it. Vermilion is the giveaway. Oh, Drasilia. I mean, hell, we're off to a, boo, boo, everybody. All right. Couldn't be slick with it. Oh, shit, that guy looks sick. Got a little animation there in the background for a new unit. Love to see that. Regular torch. Don't know. Therese and Bowman? Are you serious? Bro, Bowman, Tyra, and Co. Holy shit. This is an insane start of an account. Good God. All right. Yo, give me a Bubs just for the memes, man, at this point, right? Oh, Alabasters. We got this earlier, actually. Not Urius, but the other dude's name. Yeah, Lucius. The other beautiful long-haired husbando. Why am I blanking on Arthur? Yay! All right, well, no, we did actually get a dark weapon, I guess. Oh, shit, charge attack, dark weapon, no less. Yeah, this is, again, clearly the dark agenda is playing off. Ah, boo! Everyone boo them, boo! Spinna. Oh, shout out to La Diva. OG Vane, love to see it. All right, I think we used all of our luck at this point. We are well above rate for SSRs at this point, so... Barwa... I forgot Sutera had an S-Rare as well. Okay, all right. One more 10 pull. Can we get a SSR? Can we get one more? Shout out Mirren. Oh, I am... This lobby is going a lot slower on the left-hand side here. All right, one more for the Dark Agenda. Nope, okay. Because this brings us to another really key point I want to bring up. Because early on, you are going to... you're going to be a little bit limited on how much storage that you have access to. So, you'll notice if we go... Oh, please don't make me do that now. Just let me click on this. Okay, fine. Not doing co-op right now. You'll notice in this little gift icon, it says 158. This means I have 158 swords, weapons, summons, all that good stuff in our little mailbox, as it were. This thing is basically, not basically, this thing is infinite storage, and you should treat it as such. As tempting as it might be to go in here and get all of these weapons that are just going to like sit in your bag and just be there, you can see like all these various options. Quite literally, just leave them here until you need them. Do not redeem any of these weapons into your inventory because they will just sit there and take up space, and it's going to feel really bad. So instead, what we do is if we want to clear up stuff, what you're going to want to do is start reserving items because this is going to give you weapon XP and skill XP that you're going to need for other upgrades. So we are going to break down some of these just to clear up the slots here, as I just was mentioning. There is going to be a lot because we just did 100 pulls, though. Now, there is technically a set of weapons that you're going to want to keep because you'll need them for the uncap for when you're starting to use your Eternals, but for this conversation, we are just going to be breaking these down. Yeah, if you go to other, this button over here, always feel free to just pick all these up. Other is going to be like your in-game rewards, your crystals that they send you, all that stuff. So that's just always a freebie. And then time limit is also going to be one that's just like treasure that you get from the normal draw. So if we go to draw, if we go to tickets and other, there'll be a rupee draw here, which we did earlier. We'll just get these out of the way because these are just for random weapons that you don't care about anyways. Okay, it's off to the side. So in the browser version, there'll be like the Serio's Academy up top. So that said, we can actually change our home screen now. Oh, wrong one. Home screen characters. I guess we have a not. I don't know what hers looks like, to be honest. I mean, that's cute. That's definitely like classic. Then we have SRs for... I guess we could do our combined artwork here. There you go. Yes, it is, we will die a lot here on the left. But I was third place for damage, so that is perfectly fine. Oh, nice. That was the last one that we needed. So I can finally put this one to rest. which means I'm going to clean these up really quick because these are out of order and it's going to bother me. The Steam version is not a day one account. It is everything in the game is currently all the quality of life stuff and everything that we've gotten over the last like 2 years in particular. All of this is included in the Steam version. How advanced are you on the left account? The absolute endgame. I have done everything except the new raid that was introduced because I was so busy with Chaos Zero Nightmare stuff. I am, my main account is pretty much at the point where I am going to start doing solo challenges of the endgame raids of like what are normally 6-man events. I am going to try to go through and solo them instead. Like that's how far along my account is. I've been playing like 4 years, I think. It's either been 3 years or 4 years, but I think this is going into my 4th year if I remember correctly. But also, if I would have, like, focused up, I would probably be a lot farther because once Chaos Zero Nightmare started, and even a little bit before that, I forgot what I was busy with. I had to take a little bit of a break from Granblue Fantasy and not doing, like, all the in-game farming that I needed to do for, like, my Eternals and my Evokers. So I slacked off for, like, a solid 6 to 9 months of that. Do I have a guide or place kind of start on understanding the game? So there is one creator that I want to give a huge shout out to is DYDK. He is one of the curators for the wiki site, but there is a did they update it? Okay, I don't see it on the side, and I might be blind. There was a new player. Oh, checklist? Is it under the checklist instead? Yes. I don't know when the last part this was updated, but there is a starting Granblue Fantasy like checklist of basically why and why not to try that's on the wiki. So this is what I would recommend. And I'll just put this in both chats. But I would otherwise, this is what I would recommend. Starting with always getting familiar with the wiki because there's just a ton of great information that's on here. But other than that, like, yes, always reference the wiki as like my default answer. That if something I ever say doesn't sound 100% correct, or if you just want to double check it, I would always recommend checking the wiki because, again, there is just a lot in this game to be aware of. But the most important thing I will say to like focus on is just start doing your Knick-Knack Academy and going through each of these elements because it will give you a grid to start with that you can just literally plug and play and say, oh, I need a fire team. This is the fire team that I need. So that's why I'm like going through over here on the right and just like seeing what this overall experience is. So there is UL, which I'm not going to add right now. We should be able to do another skip. Yes, everything is voice acted. We also have the new arc, which is much later, but we're gonna keep this on the Estelucia arc. That is the like first half of the story. I shouldn't even say like first half, but it's like the first entire arc that lasted the last like 11 years. Okay, cool. So yep, we do get another skip here. Again, if you want to do the recap, there's a lot to read there. This is basically like when the crew is meeting all the original cast, like Rosetta, Eugen, EO, Rackham obviously is the pilot. You get him way earlier. Who am I forgetting? There's one other person. Kat, you get early. I don't think Rosetta's the last one. I might be wrong on that. Oh, is EO the last one? From the Colossus story? Oh, shoot, we gotta actually do a challenge here. Yes, they timed the Steam release because they wanted everyone to come in with all the extra freebies. Anniversary is always the best time to check out the game because you get hundreds of free pulls and a bunch of good swag. What's your objective at Endgame? Well, there's ultimately two, I guess I would say. One is to, well, just clear all the content and do it as a solo challenge if you want to. And then the other thing is called Guild War, which is a nightmare that we don't talk about, but it's basically a PvEVP event, meaning like you have a crew, which is basically like you and 30 friends, and it's a score challenge mode in so many words. So you have a period of time where the round is live, and it is your crew pitted against another crew point-wise as you are fighting a boss. And there is a special title that you get if you are top 2,000 in the world, called the Unite and Fight Hero at the very end of it. That itself is its own, like, you really got to put in the work to get there. And it is basically a you do not sleep, you do not rest, you do not break for the, like, 12 hours? I forget how long each round is window-wise, but it's just like, one, it's set up for Japan time, so, like, they have the advantage naturally. But it is basically a overnight thing for us in North America where it's like, you have to dedicate every second of that round if you want to get top 2K. So for me personally, I always like full auto and get top 100K. They changed it a couple Unite and Fights ago to be less punishing to get the top tier of reward. So I just strictly full auto it in the background, like while I'm watching shows or playing other games. And I always now get like the top tier rewards every Unite and Fight because I can just full auto in my accounts far enough and I don't care about going for top 2K. So if you are someone who cares about PvE, there's something for you. If you're someone who's a PvP player, there is Unite and Fight. But again, the Unite and Fight is brutal. Brutal. No, I have never been top 2K. The highest I've gotten was like top 50K, and that was by accident. So I think I calculated the points. I could have got like top 30K, but there's an achievement for like whatever the achievement is. I missed it by like 5,000, so maybe it's 50K. I think there's an achievement for getting top 50K, and then there's an achievement for top 2K. So I've gotten very close to the top 50K, but I am a top 100K Andy, and I'm very okay with that. But I'm gonna be honest, like there are some elements because it's based on element and it rotates through. There are some elements that are sweaty as hell. Like, do not become a dark main if you care about PvP. That is the one absolute red flag I will tell you about now. If you are someone who is a PvP person, unless you are willing to wail out with the man, do not do dark. Do not do dark. For the love of God, do not do dark. You do not want to have to deal with Dark Lords who have, like, Erish and all the illustrious weapons and stuff like that. Oh, wait. Did we get you top 5K when you were in Japan and we were both playing? Is that what that one was? Oh, you can skip the fight? Or no, that was just us trying to set it up. Oh, we'll use Agni for a summon. Oh, okay. So again, we're just going to use our Agni friend summon here just to clear the first wave. No problem. Oh, man, almost no problem. Thought we'd be safe on that one. But yeah, Unite and Fight is not for the weak of heart. I will, again, warn you very clearly on that one. Assassin's Aim. We don't have Break. Oh, well, there we go. We'll get some attacks in really quickly. Or, sorry, skills. And then I did not grab anything for Fighter. Oh, well. We can do a fun little charge attack. And yes, your charge attack will change depending on your weapon as well as class. A single book, man. Jesus. Oh, I forgot there's also the rate up for XP and rank going on right now, too, so that should definitely help. Oh, we got uncapped characters, right? I don't know that I care to uncap 3-star units now that I say that. I'm gonna hold off on that one. Ooh, unlock Grappler. So this is the sumo base one. Nice. They give you a little preview of the skills. Are you gated by stamina eventually like most gotchas? No. God, no. There is not enough hours in the day to go through all your pots. Like, there might be some point as you're leveling where you, like, might bomb it out, but then you'll use, like, your bronze moons to buy more of them, and you'll have enough. I guess I can check on that. Like, I have tens of thousands of stamina right now. I honestly do not even know what that number is off the top of my head. Actually, I don't even have to wait. I can just pull it up on a separate screen. Supplies, consumable. So yeah, I have almost 5,000 elixirs right now. This is your stamina. This is like your fuel in other gachas games, right? This is just your standard get more stamina thing. Full elixirs, never spend these. These are for something completely else. This is like high level, don't touch these sorts of things. You'll also get items from anniversary events or otherwise that also give you 1,000 stamina to use. And spoiler, I haven't even used these. And then to go one step further, bronze moons, you will only ever use these to buy more half elixirs. And so, spoiler, it's 30 for 5, and I have, what is that, 200 exchanges? So I have 6,000 more elixirs. So I have 75,000 stamina? God, something like that. Yeah, Guild War is the only way that you end up running out. And then Soul Berries is like for joining missions, which again, I just have I don't want to know this number. I have 63,000 of these, and keep in mind the max amount of soul berries for one raid is going to be 5 EP. So I have 63,000 divided by 5. That is how many raids I can join. And then I also have this one, which gives me another 10,000 to do on top of this. So that's 70,000 raids, or 70,000. At minimum, I can do 14,000 raids. Minimum. Not all raids cost 5. I don't have that kind of time, guys. I'm sorry. 14,000 joins. Is it recommended as Sunstone Bubs? After Roulette ends, yes. Bubs is one summon that you are going to use as a new player. I mean, I still use Bubs. You will forever be using Bubs. You can just level forever. You are absolutely correct. There is something called the Akarum, which we all refer to as just the mines because it is the best way to get XP for characters as well as rank XP. However, it is ungodly boring and you will lose your mind. But it's also how you unlock Evokers, so no matter what, you have to do it. Using the Grappler class. Sure, I mean, we'll just overwrite the party because it's going to keep giving us the right teams to use here. The boss to get into that place beat me up. Oh, the one that we're doing right now? I wonder how strong our grid is just from, like, the normal... Nice. The other thing I will say about Granblue Fantasy is, like, especially for someone who, like, works from home or just wants to play other games, like, there is a lot of stuff once you get to it in Granblue Fantasy that is just full auto that you, like, I will just let this run in the background and it is, you know, more or less passively farming me stuff that I need. That said, Granblue Fantasy, as we all know it as, is Grindblue Fantasy because there is a lot to farm in this game. It is truly never-ending. I totally forgot that Rackham got his 5-star as well. But yeah, for those that might be a little bit neurospicy, if you love checklists and if you get like a super sense of accomplishment after you finish like a long, arduous task, let me tell you, Granblue Fantasy is great for that. But I think like the idea of Evokers is probably enough to get most people to... Or wait, we're just doing the same thing again, aren't we? Did I mess that up? I think the Evoker Farm alone is enough to get most people to quit Granblue Fantasy. Did not even mean to do the same guy. I was not paying attention closely enough. Agostia! Yay! Should I be using my currency on any banners? No. So there is something called... Let me pull this up. There are two very important banners every month. There is Flash and Gala. I always forget which one's at which point, but one is basically on the 15th of every month, and the other one is on the 30th of every month. And so these are the two types of banners that you always want to pull on because they're going to have an increased rate of 6% draw instead of 3%. And they also have, like, the most important characters. So that is what I would recommend saving your currency for because this is what is going to help your account the most. Sure. So, Evokers... Whoop. Characters, filters. Evokers are these characters. Especially if you're a water character, both of them are really... I mean, all the Evokers are good for different things. There is, like, its own tier list within them. But these Evokers are really important for free-to-play players, and Hase is one of the... or she probably is the strongest one overall. She is a staple for water teams in general, so I will say... actually... Water might be the best free-to-play element because we have Flower, Uno, and Hase. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think Water might be the most stacked free-to-play element. Anyways, so these characters, they come from something called the Akarum. The Akarum, or the Sandbox, which is the second part that you unlock, is how you farm for these characters. And I'm just going to use the Zone Mundus as an example. So, within these, there are things called Astras, which you'll need to farm a lot of to unlock their weapons, which is how you recruit them and how you upgrade them, all that stuff. Now, without going too much into this, let me point out something really quickly to you. You'll notice on this bottom one, it has a gauge. It has 5 of these little chevrons that are increasing. Every time that you increase this gauge by 1 full amount, so 5 battles, you get 1 attempt on this one right here. And let me point out that I have 550 attempts left on this boss because I had to farm so many of these damn Astras to get my win characters uncapped. So you will spam this literally thousands of times to get that item. Now, you can get it through other means. There are other things that you get the Astras from. But very long story short, you do this, and it is and you know, just an example, because I probably have a Percival grid pulled up. I don't know if I have this shortcutted, but you'll notice I have Percival right here. This entire thing is go in here, let Percival do his one button. Oh, I have the wrong full auto on, darn it. Percival does his one button here, you click back. You beat it, you click back again, you hit OK. Percival triggers his S3, you go back, you do it again, it's cleared, you go back. Great. That was 2 times. Do that hundreds of more times. But yeah, this is definitely where a lot of people will be like, oh my god, this is awful. Now again, depending on your element, this may or may not be important. If you want to do this strictly free to play, suck it up. Water has the best characters. Both MT and Hase are like tier 1 staples. They're used at all high level. They're super important, all that stuff. But this is the sandbox or the mines that everyone always talks to. However, it's the best XP for leveling stuff. It's the best rank XP for stuff as well. But yeah, the refresh GIF that you've probably seen on the internet is about the Akara mines. You just need a shit ton. And I wonder if they have the full breakdown still. I think it's under... do they have a total? No, I don't think they have a total. So... So yeah, 120 Astras here, 140 Astras here. Yeah, there's just a lot. I wish they had like a total here somewhere. Now, I will say, all things considered, it's actually not that bad because it's really easy to just like watch anime in the background and like click the back button. So like, yeah, it sucks and it's time consuming, but also it's very easy to multitask it because you get in a rhythm of just like clicking 2 things back to back. It definitely could be a lot worse. Now, that said, I do bitch about it every time because I wish that they gave us more improvements to this, but again, it's definitely the part that people like will groan about. Yeah, and you also get 1 full uncap for free if I remember correctly. So again, choose wisely. Yeah, feel free to drop by, ask any questions. I'm just going to keep overwriting my party because that seems like the easiest thing to do. Oh, this is the, this is actually like raid content now. Nice. Complaints about old collab events being gone and plus accounts or not being able to refresh raids. So the account migration thing that they are working on. But for the old collab stuff, like, look, I get it that it sucks that we can't get like the Code Geass stuff on Steam, but I also know how licensing works, and I understand that it's not, it's not something they can easily do. So, yeah, it sucks to suck, but we're not gonna have that. So you do lose out on like some crystals and stuff, but there's enough side stories that you don't have to worry about that anytime soon. No, all the Evokers are currently in-game and are there. Now, I will say that they literally just announced that they're adding another uncapped stage to the Evokers. So I will have to grind again for those characters to give them what's called Transcendence, which is going from level 100 to 150. Now, the good thing is, hear me out. Anytime that a free-to-play character gets a Transcendence, that automatically means that they become tier 1 really good and really worth investing into. So, like, for water, we were already using both of them. So, like, this is just, for the premium players, it's kind of like, you know, great, I get more cake. For free-to-play players, it's even better. Now, for other elements, like Nier, for death, Nier kind of sucks at high level, unfortunately. So, Dark Element Evoker is hopefully going to get a really good buff with her Transcendence. But once again, Dark is the least free-to-play friendly element in the game, I will say, when it comes to considering things like Unite and Fight. Considering a good chunk of my grids in my browser version is comprised of collab characters, that's not a promising statement. That is a get better character statement. There is not a single meta collab character. The only meta collab was for Gojo's summon, which is Alexiel. Everything else is bad. Like, temporarily, sure, for like newer players, maybe, but there is not a single collab character that held up well over the years. Oh, we gotta clear. Oh, this is the hard version now to clear 3 times. Oh, is this saying that we gotta do our, hold on. Why can I not just start it from here? Wrong summon? Do I gotta do it from, like, the raid menu? Oh, there it goes. And again, so you'll notice that this says 1 out of 30 on the top. So there are going to be PvE style of raids like this, which is also kind of funny because this becomes its own, like, PvP event where, like, people are pushing for damage and seeing who can do the most. So do keep that in mind as well. Getting MVP in a raid usually means you get better rewards, but in the grand scheme of things, as long as you blue chest, which just means you hit a damage threshold, you will get full rewards anyways. Yeah, I will definitely say I recommend players start on the browser version until Steam gets updated, because you also get more for your money out of the browser version for the currency conversion. And yes, I am just going to hit refresh because it's faster. Probably should be making friends requests, but I'm lazy. I guess we just have to do this 3 times in total. Oh, that's nice. She gives you a free summon. Cool. So yeah, as a newer player, you always want to be looking for Colossus. So again, this is what I would call the Magna Grid. Colossus and those summons will all give Iron Flame or give a different type of wording. So if you look at Magna, it says Iron Flame. Versus if you look at the Primal stuff or the Premium, it'll say Fires, Hellfires, and Inferno. So always look for the one that says a single trait. That'll always be the Magna Grid or the free-to-play leveling up grid. And then if you go into menu, you can toggle the full auto settings, which will use your skills. Yep. I played a lot of Relink. I did everything except Sandalphon's expansion, and then I'm looking forward to the expansion that they're along with Baytrix and stuff. Yeah, the new DLC looks very solid. I'll have to see how my schedule looks like otherwise, because we do need to get back to Chaos Zero Nightmare soon. Enfield has their update this week, which, again, I'll probably stream for a couple days, but not sure how I feel about it otherwise. But I also saw that, I always mess up the name, but Star Savior, I believe, got confirmed for the 19th, which is basically Honkai Star Rail meets Uma, I guess. So I'm curious to see where the hell that game goes. So I might stream it or I might just play it offline, but like, I'm very curious about that game. Also, it probably doesn't help that Mr. Poke won't stop talking about it. But yeah, the USD conversion here is like $5 to $10 more expensive for the currency bundles comparatively. So if you want to save a little bit of money, you know, you can definitely use the browser and like do your polls and just start an account over there. But for right now, right, I would just recommend let the roulette decide. Like, I would not spend money on Granblue Fantasy until you know what your roulette gave you, which again, it goes from now until the 27th, like right before the last banner of the month. I forget how long it goes. Side story, sure. The water element, well, I don't know about all that. Wait, is that the fire reduction lily? No, that's not the right lily, right? Do you really get that for free? Oh, did it like already put it in my inventory? Oh shit, okay. Nice little staff. And a good character, too. I already had her, so I kind of forgot about that. So that's a cool little upgrade you get. Let's get Sessions Vibe loaded up. But yeah, like I said, you'll get, you know, hundreds of free pulls between now and the end of the month with Granblue Fantasy. So if you want to try it out, like, just log in, get your rolls, see how things are going, and take it from there. Oh my god, a rare monster. Thank you for the free goodies. Which, again, the rare monsters used to give, like, what was called world drops for uncapped items, but they also just added a free mission that you can run and just get all those resources. So you don't have to, like, even chase these guys down anymore. Okay. So, again, I would always recommend making each one of these an element. So we're just going to make this one our water team that we have. Cool, cool, cool. All right, that was stage 1. This is stage 2. I forgot how high they go, to be honest. Oh, does it make you go through like a full side story? Dang. Okay, so in side stories, well, I guess it's gonna make us get the Balmung anyways, but the important thing about side stories is that they'll always have a free pull ticket. Plus, you'll get more gems for just clearing it and doing the different like end missions and what have you. So, clear the full story, you get gems, and then you farm it a little bit. until you can get all 3 of the premium tickets, and then you just largely ignore everything else that's in here. And what's really important is that they have this event going on through the end of the month as well, meaning it costs half stamina and it has half the treasure requirement, meaning it's a lot faster to get these. All right, the text being this slow is driving me mad. There's got to be something I'm forgetting. But I legitimately do not see it. No, I only wanted to, well, one, I wanted to celebrate Granblue's anniversary, right, in general, but, I will be sticking to my own account because, truthfully, I have a billion things I could always be farming here instead, so I just wanted to do this as a way to, you know, offer up my time and talking about Granblue Fantasy in case people had questions, but, I am very heavily invested on my main account, so there's no... I know some people that run 2 accounts, but my God, I would just rather, like, if I wanted to play a new element, I'd rather just spend money on my main account and get to play a different element. But I want to, you know, dip my toe into the Steam version, and then I personally probably won't use the Steam version even once they link the accounts. Like, I'm fine with the browser version personally. Also, Granblue Fantasy in general is just such a comfy, cozy, you know, phone game by comparison that I don't really need the need to have it on PC. Yeah, as you rank up, you'll always get more stamina, so I mean it's a lot to go through. Yep, I'm at 1018 here as well. I keep forgetting, on multi-stages, you're supposed to hit back instead of reload or refresh. Yeah, I did not get into the closed beta, unfortunately, so it is a bit of a relink waiting room. Yeah, I know people in the Discord always ask me, too. It's like, hey, now that you have a gacha channel and you've been playing Granblue Fantasy long enough, why don't you just do content on Granblue Fantasy? I'm like, there is so much more with this game that I still am, like, not 100% on or know as well as I should. Like, this is definitely a game that you're always going to be second-guessing stuff because there's just so much to know about every little thing, and anytime a new boss battle drops, you learn so much new stuff. Like, just trying to get into high-level raids alone was challenging. Now, again, thankfully we have the wiki, so there's always, you know, teams you can follow and stuff, but this is definitely a pull up a YouTube, watch a guide type of game for the endgame stuff. Yep, this is a browser-based game that is celebrating its 12th anniversary. So they lined up the Steam release with their anniversary so that new players get a bunch of free pulls and all the other good anniversary shenanigans stuff. I'm honestly surprised that they did anything for Relink, so I'll take it. Wait, why is my honors that low? Hold on. I went too slow in my raid and I did not get enough points, apparently. Oops. Now it wants us to use a win team. I did not put a win team together yet. Oh, well, too bad we have Vayne in our team, I guess. Oh, because the element's earth. I see. Oh, that's all right. Free summon kills him. I am Primal Water, and after Anniversary, I'll be going Primal Light. Because I will be able to use the birthday step up on Sandalphon, which is the last thing I need. But I'll be level 150 Light, not 210. So it won't be as strong as my Water Primal, but I have enough pieces to consider going Light Primal if I want. So I just probably will. Primal is a very difficult thing to do and very expensive. And I don't mean cash, I just mean resources that you need. It is not something that you can just like... I mean, hell, you can't even like whale it out and have everything that you would need. It's not possible to go Primal like in a month and just whale out everything because there's not... You don't have enough resources for everything to just purely whale it out that way. You get stuck by gold bars or other caps that you get over the course of playing the game a lot. But there is something called gold bar raids, which you'll get later, that you'll always want to host because those gold bars are often one of the key things that lock people out of being able to go Primal in something. And gold bars are also used for a lot of other content in-game. But also, one of the things that I did that, you know, I probably shouldn't have, but I wanted for me... Oh, I can't even pull it up because I'm not on the right party. Outfits. Oh, what am I doing? I can just go to the, I have it on my home screen as well. So this thing right here, which is called Blue Wig, as well, you might suspect that we have blue hair, so people always refer to it as Blue Wig. This is like the ultimate endgame achievement because it takes a shit ton of resources to unlock that can also be used for either uncapping summons like Beelzebub, which is really important. So the moons, which, by the way, you can buy a single sunlight shard here for 50 bucks or 35 with conversion, right? I should say. It takes 4 of these, which, again, you can farm for free through Unite and Fight. And sometimes they just give them out in game anyways. So, like, you'll get them over time. But it effectively took me sacrificing an entire summon's worth of uncaps to get this skin. And then it also took gold bars, which are needed to uncap your premium weapons, and premium just meaning like what you get from the gacha. So, you know, maybe not the smartest thing I did, but this has been on my bucket list forever because it looks sick and I wanted it. So I went ahead and got it. But if you see anybody with like this very specific skin, it means that they are crazy or have been playing for a very long time because of how much you have to sacrifice to get this. Like, in any gacha I've ever played, this right here is probably the most, like, whale-intensive achievement that I've seen. Now, that said, when I compare it to, like, gold bars, I have... or what is gold bars under? Consumables, rather. Yeah, I have 30 gold bricks still, because I've been saving a lot of these. And so, to go Primal in an element, you need, 18 plus 2 weapons, so 21. You need 24 gold bars safely. 24 gold bars to go Primal in an element. And I've been saving this for like years at this point. But also keep in mind, I used about you need to use 4 no matter what for the skin. And then I did gold bar some weapons for the unlock, so I've probably spent another 8 gold bars for that skin in total. So I spent 4 sunlight shards and 8 gold bars. It's a lot. It's very expensive. But yeah, so this itself is like its own badge of honor. Or badge of insanity, whichever way you want to look at it. Yeah, it is a very iconic skin. Which is also funny because, like, I don't know how they ever top it at this point, so. But again, for, you know, the 99% of the player base, you're only ever going to want to go primal in one element because you just won't get enough currency over the course of the year to pull on as many banners as you will need to be to have multiple primals. So for me personally, I'm doing it just because I'll have a grid that is strong enough and it's a upgrade for my free-to-play grid by comparison, but it won't be like the overall best of the best that I could do if I was fully invested like I am for my water team. So I will always save some resources for my water team just because that is my main element. And spoiler, we probably do have a new water character coming up during this anniversary that I will have to pull on. And spoiler, I do not have a spark saved up. So I will be at the mercy of RNG gods or a good roulette, hopefully. Yes, this is a you have to pull for teams game. And I will also say again, like, you don't pull for teams, you pull for all your beginner stuff, and you see what the game gives you. And that's how you decide what element and what teams you're going to focus on. All right, I don't want to randomly die in what's basically a tutorial stage. All right, 37. Let's go. Yeah, if you want to just post your what your SSRs are in the Discord, myself, Bree, and a few others can all definitely help. But like what I will say again, like go to the number one thing I would say is like just go to the wiki and look at some of these team combinations that they have, or like the characters that do very certain things. And that will also kind of like help guide those decisions. But at this point, like, you're going to get so many more pulls between now and the end of the month because of anniversary. It's really hard to say what you should invest in this early on. We also have all the summer characters coming out at the end of the month too, which may or may not impact the meta. Oh my gosh, should I not do my summon? I did not. But the thing I will say too is that they do keep giving upgrades to like Magna, which again is the free-to-play teams by comparison. They do upgrade those as well, like every few years, which, yes, again, means you have to farm all new grids, but it gets you a nice power boost so that you can still do all the content in the game. Oh, we just get a Belmung for free. Nice. So Caesar is one of the new characters. Oh, that's probably why they gave it to Walfrid as well. Oh, that's right. He did have a special animation because I have Caesar as well on my account. So yes, the newest of characters get like a special animation now. I do remember now. All right, so after you go through all the story, you'll then get 2 quests here at the end. Usually, you just want to do the first one once and then go into that second one and farm that a couple times. And that will give you enough of the materials to get the tickets. In this case is all we care about. Where is the... do I have the fast animation on? Where's my summon animation? I will skip my summon animation, please. We want this to be faster. And then we got our battle with Sylph. But yeah, all the knights are going to be like the main story arc for this upcoming chapter. So curious to see what we get for water. But we've only gotten Caesar and then technically Walfrid so far. The White Knight and the Blue Knight. Azure Knight, whatever. All right, cool. So we did all that. And then we go back to the story. Yeah, there'll be like little challenge stuff where you can get the blue shards. But you can see that we have 12 and 5 now of the treasures. And we're going to need to farm this a couple times here to get the actual premium draw tickets. Again, the only thing that you really care about is the premium draw tickets for all these side stories. Is my Neon 150? Yep, I just recently got her to 150. But I mean, if you have like, I always forget her name. Sinon? Summer, you can use her as well. Yes, and the live 2D, the new live 2D art is pretty sick too. Which, I don't have any on my screen now that I think about it. I just have Versusia. Which is a summon and not a character that you get to play as. And then you'll click on them and they'll say stuff, but... hers was sick. I still have to do her raid, though, unfortunately. I haven't had time to learn her new raid yet. But apparently the new weapon that we get to farm for with her grid is really insane. So same thing here. We're just going to hit the back button because it's faster than having to go through and click all of those options. Again, the back button is your friend in this game. Don't have Cow and Rabbit, who's worth getting. My light grid is much better, though. So do not pull on any Zodiacs until the end of Roulette because they will appear in the Roulette as a possible character you can get, and you don't want to waste your selector. But between the two of those, you're going to hope to get Katura. Man, these lobbies are going way too fast. Everyone's trying to finish Lancer Origin books, I guess, right now. The PvP is so real in this lobby. And so what I'm doing on the left-hand side here is that I'm refreshing so it doesn't go through all of my attack animations, which does save time on the in-between rounds. So keep in mind, all of this is happening live with 5 other players who are all just kind of trying to basically see who can do the most damage. And so this boss has a shit ton of mechanics that I'm basically trying to like loop through in time while also trying to use my cooldowns. Now, again, if I was doing this manually, I would be a lot better at it, but my team is advanced enough that I should be able to have this on full auto. And the teams are, their skills are in a spot where they synergize well as is. So I'm not so much worried about the which order my skills get sequenced in, because they'll come up at the right times to support the others. Yes, unironically, the real PvP in this game is who can PvE harder. The real bragging rights is who is MVP at the end of the lobby for high-level raids. Okay, and so you see this little medal. I'm now silver. This person's gold because this person hosted it, so we're never going to be able to catch up to their damage. But if I stay in this silver ranking, well, I just dropped down to bronze. If I stay at this silver ranking, I get 1 extra rewards chest at the end of the run. So I'm incentivized to try to do as much damage as possible while keeping up my damage. Or sorry, do as much damage as possible while refreshing to cut out the downtime on animations to deal more damage. Yes, the reroll target is a summon if you want to reroll. It is the only viable reroll target in the game. Oh, shit, congrats. Yeah, if you got a first try, then you're set. I am once again just, like, not being smart and cheating by using my friend's summon to make this a lot faster. Oh, geez. You know somebody's a real sweat when they use this skin that this guy has on that looks like a little alien? Because this is the fastest skin in the game by, like, a fraction of a second. But it's hilarious because when you're sitting here refreshing, those fractions of a second per turn do add up. So, yep, he beat me in damage, just like that. I got skin gapped, unfortunately. Yep. Dang. Beat me by like a solid mil. So there'll be this blue chest here on the right-hand side. This means I met the required amount of honors, so I get an extra bonus drop. And then there would be one more chest here that was red if I got the MVP status. But unfortunately, it was not me. The Vice MVP went to this guy. Lucifer main summon? Huh. What was that guy doing? Profile is private. All right, that's when you know that they're a Giga Sweat. If they're using that skin plus their profile is private, that is probably like a top 2K Unite and Fighter. Or like top 10K. Too sweaty. I am clearly not worthy of their presence. To stand in their presence. The weapon trade ticket is quite, it's straight for a, just a weapon. There's no character with it. But that is something that you're going to want to hold on to until you need it way later down the road if you're doing like a special event or you just realize that you're missing a very important weapon for a grid. But, Honestly, most people don't use that even for like the first year because you can either easily farm all that stuff or there's not really a good weapon to upgrade. Yeah, no problem. That one is just straight as is. I'm also like just slowly remembering of like literally how much there is to do on this game, even as a like fresh account now. Ah, I need one more golden ore. Oh, gotta do it one more time. Oh, Grimnir jump scare. Yeah, my good old background. Once again, use a friend's summon support. Just grab something high level. Try to deal some extra damage. You can also just see how the enemy design has changed over time. Like, this is a very early side story with Sylphier. And then what I'm doing on the left is called the Mastery Trial Raids, which was a new raid content that was added mid last year is when the first one came out, I think. It was like right after Anniversary, I think. But yeah, basically, they're always adding new raids, especially now, it feels like. So there's always new weapons to farm and new things to add to your shiny collection. All right, perfect. That was our last Sylph boss battle that we had to do. We can get our last premium ticket, and then we can go back to our friends, Sirios Knickknack Academy. See what's along the way. I do appreciate that it changes your, it does change your MC to that. Oh, damn, it makes you do a lot of side stories, doesn't it? Holy shit. Oh, there we go. We get another, let's see how far we can take this skip, actually. Now, again, as new players, I would very strongly recommend focusing on the Knickknack Academy and just doing whatever it says to do. Because, again, side stories are going to have a lot of crystals and stuff as well, which is really nice. Yeah, trust me, when you're desperate for pulls, in case, like, a character that you care about randomly shows up, you will be on that side story grind so fast. They only added stuff to it once, as far as I remember, and then it's just been the same since. Yes, I very strongly recommend not skipping What Makes the Sky Blue, because it is one of the best gacha stories in the entire world. I'll say it like it is. It is truly one of the best stories out there for a gacha game. If you skip out on What Makes the Sky Blue, 000, and oh my god, what's part 2 called? Anyways, don't skip that storyline. You'll thank me later. Bro, what the hell is the third part? Oh, there's the 3 uncaps that we were just talking about. The world mission. Oh yeah, there it is. The Akarum. This is something you're gonna want to unlock when you can to start working on the daily quests and stuff. But let's keep going. Let's keep going through our skips here just to see what else we can get. I do love free crystals. That is very nice. Tried to unlock it and got bodied. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna be so honest. I totally forget how many chapters there are now in the first. Oh, it says to Estalucia. Does it? Wait, is there a skip all the way to, Oh, shit. Yeah, this is for Estalucia. By the way, this was a very big deal when we got here. Basically, the first 11 years of the game led up to this point. Is as much as I'll say. Damn, they literally just let you skip all of... Yep, there's letters from Dad. Huh. Wow, okay. Huh. Yeah, by the way, 11 years worth of story, which is just season 1, basically. And it's like, I hate to say they pulled a One Piece on us, but they basically did. How, like, One Piece took a break, and they're like, oh, that's season 1, guys, by the way. 1,100 episodes, or whatever the hell it is. Granblue Fantasy just did the same thing. Oh, yeah, no shit. All right, we are here. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and skip too much through all that. Oh, nice, and you get Vern's Adventure and stuff. This is just like a little helper mission thing, basically. So you want to go through and actually... I'm not going to mess with this right now, but you do want to go through and actually like unlock all the areas, get everything going, because this is something that you do have to build up over time. But basically, it's just free materials that you get. Let me go to mine, actually, now that I just finished that raid. So, for mine... Oh, I can't... can I look at the maps while it is going? I can't. Damn. But basically, you're going to want to do, like, Stardust Town because it just gives you a bunch of free resources that are really good. For a lot of endgame related stuff. So it's just like a free passive extra resource thing that you get that they added very, very recently. While I'm thinking about it really quick though, I want to go merge my books. I went too far. Oh, I thought they were after this point. Where are the books? Where are my Mastery Trial books? That is my blue bars. This is all Eternal stuff, which is, as you can see, a lot going on. Evokers. There they are. Okay, so, yes, I got exactly enough for this. 25, 26. And I still need, this would be 21. Yeah, I still need 42. We didn't, like, cheat and get an extra book unfortunately. So back into that fight we go. All right, so let's go to quest. I kind of do remember this being harder, if I'm being honest. We really don't have, like, a real grid yet either, which is not helping us. I mean, we'll see what happens. Probably need to, like, uncap our characters and stuff, but I see this not going well for us. I'm just gonna turn on full auto because I can, basically. And we'll see if it's end up able to clear. We don't have, like, a healer, unfortunately, but and you'll notice that he has, like, this little arrow pointing to the bar, and there's, like, a couple of these different, like, slashes. Every time you get to one of these is gonna be a mechanic-related thing. Yeah, I imagine early Akarim is a nightmare. Oh my god! Okay, yeah, that was, Alright, yep, that is a let's review this later moment. Yeah, this, that hit kind of hard. And he has his, diamonds upgrade, which means he's gonna do a special attack, so this will definitely kill us. Get deleted. I guess my dark team would be best anyways. What shows up if we go to our raid list? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you're slowly going to want to start working through these as well, because these will drop the early Magna weapons, which you will also get from... Actually, you know what? Never mind. Just keep doing the Sirio's Knick-Knack Academy, because I forget that they give you a free M1 and M2 grid as you progress. So, like, just do this instead. Dark team is our best team, so this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, dark team is our best team by a mile. So we're gonna use this one. Yeah, we definitely don't need a, hold on. Oh, using priest class, damn. I was just gonna say how we don't need a priest because we have a healer on our team, but the game said JK. Yeah, Academy is going to be the most important thing for sure. I do love the idea of the priest with the spear, though. But yeah, your biggest power spikes are going to come from the Academy. So, I know some of those side stories can be a bit boring to get through, especially if you're someone who just wants to skip through them. But again, keep in mind, they will give you a lot of crystals. They will give you a lot of pull tickets. So the side stories are something that you're going to want to do anyways. And I will go as far to say that if you can save up 300 pulls between now and the last roulette, well, technically less than 300 because the roulette's going to give you some amount of free pulls, right? That should be your goal. So going through the side stories and getting those crystals and getting those tickets so that you can spark at the end of the month is probably going to be your best bet anyways. Yes, 90k is the number because you need 300 pulls, and a pull is 30k or 3,000. And we're at 13,000 so far. We're just gonna keep using the parties that it wants us to use, I guess. All right, while this is doing its thing, I'm going to go grab another carbonated beverage or something really quick. So, hey, if you've been here for a while, make sure to hydrate, take care of yourself, stretch your legs, let that battle full auto in the background while you hydrate. But I am going to grab something myself here. Got to stop pulling on this from the side. I'm going to go grab myself a little bit of a beverage really quickly. Whoop, as I hopefully don't pull my headphones down. Well, oh, my headphones were tangled. All right, so let's keep this going. Music is that. I'm going to go into the void really quick just so I can eat something in the background. But I can still, of course, answer questions and all that stuff as we are going through this. Go to our academy, go to academy. Harpist, there we go. That's a fun one to get. Again, all these classes like go into the next tier as well, so you're gonna want to slowly unlock all these anyways. And I'm just gonna keep using whatever they want me to use. Forgot to full auto there. Oh shit, you got Earth Olivia. Yeah, Earth Olivia and the Fire Michael are the best two that you got so far. Yes, characters do have alt versions that are usually revolve around things like Halloween or Christmas or a bunch of different seasonal stuff. And Narmaya does... Oh, what the hell is that? Narmaya does have a usable version in her Yukata, Holiday Yukata? Or sorry, Yukata Light. I will look at that later. I don't remember. I do not. This is like a very rare drop that like is super niche. You have to get like the certain thing. Like I will not. This is something I have to think about offline. Yeah, this is definitely a team that we're going to unlock because we have a really, really strong start to a dark team on this account. So I'm going to see what it wants us to get. I guess it really just wants us to do this a couple more times. All right, let me uncap these guys really quick just so they're a little bit stronger. Oh, we actually have more anima than I thought we would have. Oh, okay. Huh. I did not expect that we could fully uncap these. Hold on, then. I might have a decent enough dark team. Now, again, I do not recommend doing this until you know who you're going to want to invest into. Because stuff, even like the Supreme Merits, will be a little bit harder to get earlier on. I do not remember how good this guy is off the top of my head. Nope. Oh, wait, it's going to make me use Narmaya, though, for the quests. You're going to find out very quickly why Tyra is one of my favorites. Yeah, by the way, she gets a whole ass dinosaur. Yeah, sometimes your account is just assigned dark, which, to be fair, this is exactly what happened with my main account when I started, because I think it was Gabriel and Pela I got together. And it's just like, all right, I'm all in on water. Now, again, unfortunately, we don't have Bubs on this account, so it's kind of whatever, and probably should re-roll, but I'm not going to play this long-term. I'm just going through it for the new player experience just to go through it, but if we had Bubs as well on this account, this would be like an absolutely cracked starter. Also, long story short, order does matter in teams, but not until you're like later on and worried about charge attacks and stuff like that. And now our guys are getting a good amount of XP. But we're going to try to push this dark grid as far as we can, just to see if we can unlock the Akaram. And again, largely just because this team is so good. Oh, and we should definitely have Ko on our team, obviously. Ko's worth unlocking, so... Yeah, we have Bowman, Tyra, and Ko as a very staple leveling up team. You really can't get much better than that early on. I just realized the game probably defaults to having attackers for your front line. But yeah, there's our boy right there, which he should also be unlocked or uncapped, excuse me, now that I think about it. He is definitely somebody that we would end up using long term. And you'll notice he has this extra star that you can't uncap yet. You have to get them to level 80, do a quest, and then it'll give you the final uncap. As I mentioned earlier on stream, that's like the special upgrade that they got later down the road. All right, sorry, Narmaya. But yeah, otherwise, this is a pretty solid little meta team that we got going on. It's always fun when you can have a big old dinosaur on your team too. Man, oh. I'll warn everybody now, if we don't get around to streaming Chaos Zero Nightmare tomorrow, I apologize in advance, but I got both a flu and a COVID booster yesterday, and it's really starting to fucking hit me today. Are dupes a big deal? Not in the traditional sense. Dupes in this game are used for weapon uncaps, but you can get items to uncap the weapons instead of getting dupes. Now, again, in some grids, you'll need 2 of a weapon, but very long story short, never combine weapons that are premium from the gacha. You'll want to end up upgrading them through other means later down the road once you're ready to use them. Rank and XP is boosted for everybody right now. They do that a couple times throughout the year to like just get people, if they're leveling up Evokers or Eternals, to have XP boosts. So it is a anniversary thing right now, and they'll probably do one for the next one's probably like summer. They'll do another one. All right, so in this one, we got to do a Cagliostro, who is one of my favorite characters. We have to do her side story, and again, you get 3 more pulls and currency for this. If I remember correctly, this is also one of the prerequisites to unlock the alchemy lab, which is important for more free goodies, basically. But same thing as always, we're just gonna kind of skip through here as quickly as possible. I wonder if Walfred's on the tier list yet, because I am not somebody who plays Win, so I have no idea how good his kit was. There he is. 9.7 for Walfred. It's pretty good. What is he, an attacker? Oh, yeah, he was a normal attack build character. So another thing to keep in mind with this game is that you generally have a team that excels at normal attack damage, which is just like your triple strikes, skill damage, which, spoilers, your skills, and then charge attack teams, which are that yellow bar that fills up under the names, that's charge attack, and that they all focus on just doing big damage that way. Gotta wait and see what Alicia gets tomorrow. Oh, is the FLB tomorrow for her? What do we got here? So this was today. Anniversary skin, rank uncap, quality of life stuff, free stuff. Oh yeah, they said it's a style change, not an FLB. Forgot about that. Love how the Grand Cypher's in the background, very obviously. Yeah, there you go. So there's your character preview for tomorrow. Oh, wait, is that? Oh, I didn't realize that the final story chapter's out tomorrow. Oh, I guess that makes sense because it's anniversary now, but... I'm so nervous about Octavia. If she's a water grand, man, I'm gonna lose it. I want to be able to skip her so I can pull for my... And I'm still upset that they did not give her muscles. The Black Knight, or Apollonia, who is the guardian for Orcus, she is supposed to be, like, a very strong, like, physically, doesn't have, like, any type of, like, you know, magic, BS, whatever, but, like, just very strong. And this is the first time that we've seen her outside of her armor and outside of her casual clothing, and just no muscle definition at all. And I'm like, come on, man, like... There's a very big part of her character story that is how much she works out and how hard she works as a knight to, like, make sure the kingdom is safe. So, like, I get it. I get it's in very big, typical gacha fashion, but it's like, there's this whole point of her being big and strong. She gets a bikini and then, like, there's no abs, there's no bicep muscles, like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then we have Yukatas as well, but like the rest of these are very standard. What I would expect, right? And then Thuria is very fitting for her character. Oh yeah, by the way, then Tales of Akarum. So by the way, they'll also host random events that are like, oh, you really want to go spend time to the mine because there's a lot of buffs to them. So, yay! I guess I'll be trying to find time to do that at the end of the month. Oh, I forgot we get another Scamcha at the end of the month. Oh, shit, I don't know what 2 grand characters I want, man. I need, like, Grand Grebnir, because my boy. And I need a second Grand Sandy or Nehan, and, like, kind of that's it. Really don't care to go Primal in any other element, so I don't need a lot of that stuff. Oh no, I accidentally hit retreat. Ah, damn it, I just wasted everything. So when you retreat, you don't get any rewards, and I just misclicked that. Damn it. I was second in damage. Fudge. Well, that's the price we pay for clicking too fast, I guess. Okay. Do another. All right, let's try to get back into this raid. Oh man, so I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but or on the screen, but I need 40 more of this drop to finish like my farm target. Actually, I don't think I've hosted mine for today yet. Nope, I did. Yeah, so the other PvP is to get into, just getting into the more competitive raids that, like, everybody's trying to farm at the same time. But, you know, if I didn't want to focus on this, I could just go do one of these other raids or something. Which, also, there's just other... Yeah, I need to do my gold bars. I don't know why I'm, just do these in the background. So, as I mentioned, the gold bars, there's these 4 sets of raids that drop, spoiler, gold bars, which are... basically the most important raids that you want to make sure that you're doing every day, because that is how you upgrade your weapons so that you don't need to get dupes and hold out for that. So these you just do daily, and you get like, you basically get enough gold bars in a year to go primal in an event, in a element, but it takes longer than a year to go primal in an element if you're free to play. So like, you should, as long as you keep up with it, you'll always have, you know, again, bad RNG is bad RNG at the end of the day, but you should have enough gold bars to go primal when you're able to go primal. Yeah, primal means maxing a team for the premium weapons. The weapons that you can farm in-game, or the ones that you get out of the Sirios Academy, you just farm those normally by doing the raid boss over and over and over and over. So you don't have to spend anything to get those. You just get them by doing the raid boss over and over. But for characters like this premium team that I have, like Yadama, who is the redheaded character I talked about earlier, when you pull for her, you get her bow. And for her bow, you need 4 copies in total to max it out, normally. However, to go primal, which again is to use these weapons to their max capacity, you normally just get their base drop and then spend gold bars to get those 3 uncaps that you would normally need. And it'd be really sick if we get a gold bar from one of these raids while we're talking about it. But yeah, the number one, like the 2 pieces of advice, you know, that, you know, don't make these mistakes. Do not use your gold bars. Do not take items out of your stash when you're, or like your mail icon, I should say. Use that as unlimited storage, because you will regret once you start taking things out of there and realizing how much room you do not have. God, are those both foil? No, I don't want to foil out a deck, man. Oh, you know, I didn't check eBay in a couple hours. I probably need to check eBay really quick while I'm thinking about it. I totally just clicked out of that out of instinct. I don't think we got a gold bar. Again, they are a rare drop, as you would expect, but... I'll do this off screen really quickly. let's not use... Sorry, I just don't know if there's anything on my eBay account that is sensitive information, so I'm just trying to be smart and pull it off to the side so I don't have to worry about it. I'm trying to hunt for some extended art TCG cards for a new TCG that drops next week, and so people have been very slowly putting stuff up on eBay for, like, dirt cheap, and I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it, man, but other people keep sniping it instead. All right, nope. Looks like nothing's up yet. So again, I know it takes a while. I know it might be a little bit boring, especially if you don't care about these characters yet, but side stories are good. They're very worth it for the pulls and for the crystals. And especially if you go through the whole academy, I mean, you're going to have enough for a spark by the end of the roulette and whatnot. But again, don't use any selectors until the end of the roulette so you know what teams you're looking to build. For now, just start working on upgrading the academy, working through all your grids, and then, if I remember correctly, it puts you right out at M3 once you get through all of it, which is like right at the start of what I would consider like the new endgame mark. I guess people would consider endgame like after you finish M3, but... And M3 just means the third tier of Magna weapons that they've introduced. Or third set, however you want to say it. Man, if there's a side story for... Oh yeah, her next one. Man, if there's a side story for every element, though, damn. Good thing we got Bowman and our dark team is sick. Nope, alright, not sick enough. I tried. We are real optimistic on that one. Oh, forgot to request backup. Wow. Oh, not play again. We want to go to the higher tier story to get that crystal amount as well. Ooh, Bahamut has a great summon to take as well. Thank you. Yeah, my summons are not doing me any favors, so. I mean, yeah, that did a good amount of damage. Nice. We were able to deal the rest just naturally. I don't care about the pulls, I guess, for this account, so we are just gonna kind of go through and keep chugging along. So again, remember, it's not just finishing the side stories, it's also making sure that you get the 3 pull tickets at the end. Do we get Albert? Is it Albert for this one? Yay! Lord of Lightning. Oh yeah, this is where you get Blade of the Scourge. That's actually like a decent, this is a very decent main character weapon for a while because it's a saber that you want to end up using. I gotta say, they at least pick good side stories to go into. Like, normally you don't care about the gear that comes out of the side stories, but between Belmung and then this one, it's actually pretty solid. Like these are weapons you would be using. Like these are weapons that I had to hunt down when I started many years ago now because they were just very good for early game. Now again, you're probably going to level them out very quickly compared to what you get through the new Academy quests, but still cool to see. All right, all fine. We'll actually start using some skills again. I once again looked too fast. Okay, no gold bar for the bar for the first section here. But yeah, everything in this tier is gonna drop a gold bar. So if you go to click on it, go to the items or gold brick, whatever. Everyone calls it a gold bar. You can see it's lucky loot, which means it has a low drop chance. Yeah, we'll probably go to the end of this story, and then I'm probably gonna see where the Academy is at, and then end it shortly after that. I apologize for a little bit of a shorter stream, but again, I'm not feeling the best, and I really do want to stream Chaos Zero Nightmare tomorrow, because I'd like to try to knock out another quick video before Enfield drops this week, and then Enfield is gonna be a couple days worth of like getting through the updates, pulling for the new character, doing a character guide on Tang Tang. And I guess that's it, but otherwise just waiting to see what is the secret event that they tease for Chaos Zero Nightmare. And we do not have a late team for this, so oops. Rita drops on the 17th looking at my planner, so we got a little bit to go. Yeah, the Chaos Zero Nightmare devs hinted at some type of event starting, but they didn't say more details at all. Oh, wait, that's what her banner's at. Oh, they just mean it's for the next broadcast. But they said surprise event. Unless they just meant that the stream was going live then. But yeah, we'll have to see. So I'm sure, again, it'll be the same same broadcast thing to look forward to. So, I'm very curious to see what they end up doing. But obviously, keep in mind, this is also the third character of the season. So it's always like the wind down season, as I always like to call it, or the wind down banner, because people are generally tired of the Great Rift at that point. You've done enough of the seasonal content. I really hope they change it to be two characters per season and make the seasons a little bit shorter, because I think 3 characters and adding those extra 3 weeks at the end are just not, it's too long in my opinion. Maybe I'm the only one that feels that way, but ugh. It's definitely a lot to go through. I'm also not someone who's like chasing Great Rift because I just could not be bothered. So I know it's also like just not for me. Surprise event is the Discord Nitro? Man, rest in peace. Get that Nitro shit out of here. The Celestial Eye, be not afraid. Yes, the Chaos Assault mode will be in Season 3, so unfortunately, based on the roadmap, it looks like we're going to have another off-season. I don't know how long it's going to last, but after the in-between seasons is when that'll go live. Because that is also the one that we get to farm the Flash of Radiance material, which is really important. So we'll see. And honestly, the same thing I said last time, y'all, for those that know me from the CZN side of it, I hate the preseason stuff that they do. I am very openly against it. I hope that we'll see, like, some kind of, like, cool event that they do, or, like, cosmetics, or, like, something to chase, right? Like, something to do. Otherwise, I will probably just play something else in the meantime, and then once Season 3 starts up, obviously I'll be playing a lot more. Like, again, I want to be very sincere. Chaos Zero Nightmare is truly my favorite game right now, like, of the gachas that are out, and I have had such a blast with it. But it always just bums me out so much when they have, like, such great momentum in a season, and then it just drops off a cliff with the in-between stuff. So I will play literally anything else during that time. We'll see what happens. Maybe Star Savior will be good. I don't know. I really don't know. That is a end of March problem for me. But I mean, again, so what? Rita's Banner is the 17th and Star Savior comes out on the 19th. I'm just saying maybe we check out Star Savior for a couple weeks. It's a real good chance of that. Yeah, like the 2 to 3 weeks between seasons I'm not a fan of. Because again, like, the big draw for me in Chaos Zero Nightmare is farming decks and, like, talking about new strategies. But there's no point of farming decks in the off season if you can't use them for anything. So it always puts me in, like, this really awkward, what the hell do I do for content situation that, like, I just haven't found a good answer to. And I get that's a me problem, because obviously, like, I'm the one that should be making the content, but it just feels bad to do a video that is completely worthless and doesn't have any relevance to the upcoming seasonal event that will happen. Like, during the last preseason, I ended up finishing farming all my original chaoses till Exploration 30, so I would have the uncaps, and, like, that was fine, but what do I do for this one now? I don't have anything else I can pre-farm. So who knows? Maybe we'll go play Honkai Star Rail Uma, or Horse Star Rail, I guess. Whatever mockery of name we want to put together. Maybe we'll play the Uma Star Rail game. I got 2 weeks to burn an ADD, man. Why not? Goon Rail? Isn't that just normal Honkai Star Rail? I don't think that I don't think that changed anything. Star Horse Rail? Yeah, let's go with that one. If someone reminds me, like, whatever the most used name is that we come up with in the community, I'll have that be my stream name for the first day that we actually check out the game. Which will probably look really bad for future sponsor opportunities by that company, but I don't know anything about the company behind it either, so I don't have any say on that end. That is true. Honkai Star Rail's not as bad as other stuff out there. I also really don't have much room to talk about when we just showed Rita on stream as well. I don't think anything is as blatant as that in Star Rail. Yeah, Serenial Lobby, oh man, that one is still insane to me, but it's in the game. Oh, April 23rd for our next story update. Yeah, by the way, upcoming raid bosses do look absolutely sick for this game too. Yeah, I will say there was a lot of people who came forward and complained about the Typhara stuff, so I'm really hoping that Rita will be a bit more, Here's the thing, right? So Rita has her giant coat behind her, so other than side boob, I have no clue what they're gonna do for I almost said Honkai Star Rail. I have no idea what they're gonna do for CZN. It'll probably just be like Giga side boob like Amir, and that'll be what they do, but somehow they'll find a way to get the ass in there. I guess it would help if we actually used a light team, by the way. Let's just go get a light team real quick. Wowee, another Albert. Oh, they give you uncapped stuff. I see. I was just dub, apparently. Equip to a party. All right, sick. We got a light team now that we can actually go through this. Elemental advantage is very important in this game, as you might expect. I love how it was Zeta randomly at the end. Oh, but they're not leveled, I just remembered. Oh well, we'll see what happens. We have double knights basically for double damage reduction. Sure. I don't think we're dying, but we gotta figure out a way to do more damage. All right, one more set of gold bars raids to go, so we'll see if we get a gold bar tonight on stream or not. What's new content for Rita's patch? Rita and new Great Rift boss. That's it, unfortunately. Yeah, like, that's kind of the thing, right? That's why, like, patch character 1 is cool because it's the new season. There's a lot to explore, lots of new cards and gimmicks to learn and whatnot. Really exciting. The second patch is okay because there's the Great Rift. You might be like, oh, that one item that I thought was really good. Oh, let me go back and farm that now for a second save. Like, that's fine. Third character, you're like, okay, there's no new content in a meaningful way. There's just a new character that I may or may not want to pull on. Like, do I care? Chances are not really. And so that can be its own struggle of if you're not pulling on Rita, like, what do you do? Sure, do your Great Rift so you can get the free crystals? Yeah, great, I guess. Then go on with your day and go play a different gacha. But no, I am very open and transparent about it, that hopefully people, don't mind how blunt I am about it sometimes, but it's just like, the first patch is always really good, but then, like, for me, CZN always just goes in this, like, roller coaster ride of, like, really good for the first two, very bad for the third patch, and then the between seasons. And then we go right back up to the first patch of the new season. And it's just having to ride that roller coaster is rough. And it's extra bad when I know that it's replicated in like the YouTube views and stuff too, where like people just really don't care after the second patch. So I'm gonna do my normal videos and stuff on Rita, and maybe she gets more because she's like, you know, a big booba character and more people like her design. Maybe that gets more views and more people are interested in Chaos Zero Nightmare for the third patch, but people did not like Typhara. That is the one thing I learned. That was not a well-liked support. And again, I'm just one small, you know, corner of the internet. I'm not going to try to say that my content, what I see and all that stuff is indicative of the whole community, yada, 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 yada. But there was a noticeable drop-off between live content, long-form content, shorts content. All of it went down for Typhara compared to 9. Yeah, it's crazy because Typhara is probably going to be the best character of this season by a very significant margin. But her design just isn't there. And like, it is what it is. I can't do nothing about that. Oh, shit. He turned himself into Cerberus. Double-headed ass with his body sticking off the top from the demon. I love this silly little guy, though. Yeah, I will say from a character design standpoint, Typhara is definitely one of my favorites so far that we've gotten, except her actual gameplay animation. The fact that she doesn't have her cloak, like, well represented in her, like, playing a card artwork, really bothers me. Yeah, like, you see Big Boob, I can't even talk anymore. Big Booba so much, you're just like, all right, man, that's fine. Big Booba character number 6, like, what are we doing here? Oh, I did not ever hit full auto on the left-hand side. My bad. I mean, her cloak would, but, like, at least it would be something interesting. Totally forgot to get my characters attacking over here, man. My bad. Does look like I am capped on pendants, though. Sure am. Oh, when did they add? Holy shit, this is... Huh. I did not know they added these. These are also for the invokers. Like, you need a shit ton of these as well. So, sure. I don't even know how many more I need of these, but, like, I'll farm enough pendants that I want to grab those while I can. All right, where does this put us for, oh, wait, do we have to clear the battle too? Oh, and clear the showdown. Okay, never mind. Hold on. We still have to do the battle. So we do this. We just hopefully do a free friend summon to kill it. Not quite. Maybe MC's strong enough to kill it. Nope. Maybe we can kill it with another basic attack. Yippee. Wacky wings that possess the tentacle man? Is that what that just said? Hello? Oh, you gotta do the other showdown too. Damn. Gotta do both. Or wait, no, I think it said Urias the first time. I just misread that. This one's gonna take a little bit more oomph to clear. Oh, shit, maybe not. He was also super weak. Which again is good because we don't want to have to get stuck here with super tough bosses. When we're just trying to farm it out and make sure that we get our tickets and all that stuff. There we go. Oh my god, it makes you do another one. What is this side story for? Oh, for the summon? For the dark reduction or light cut? Sure. Carbuncles are like, definitely keep one of each of these because they do give you this light damage cut, or like each one of them has a element cut, which sure, it fills a summon slot. There is good use to them, but you'll replace it very, very quickly. But my god, they make you go through another... Like, I get it. But yeah, I guess first thing first, like, go through it and make sure that you equip each of these to a team. Just so you have one of each element as you go through your raids and all that stuff, too. And there's a way, like, if you go in a party, you can change these icons, too, so it's easier to tell which element is which element. I'm just kind of doing them mentally in a certain order that I know how to track, so... Yeah, not bad. There is a lot to go through, I will say. I gotta do a little bit of my own farming offline. Just try and think. Oh, we could go back and, hold on. I want to try to fight... Oh, we probably still can't do it. Where is Akaram? I need to not use Lucifer's summon, but I don't think we have any other summons to really use. So, like, we don't have any of the Magna stuff yet. Yeah, let's upgrade this now for some free points, I guess. This grid's not doing us any favors. Like, we didn't improve our grid much here, or, like, even level up our guys, so I assume that this is still not going to go well for us, but... Oh, we didn't grab Ko! Gosh darn it. Nurmaya, again, got in the way. Again, Ko is really nice because he would be a healer, but we upgraded our team slightly level-wise, which is not that big of an upgrade compared to, like, new gear and whatnot. So, yeah, Tyre's not doing enough. The supplemental damage will help. Nurmaya does have a defense down, which is nice here as well. Restock. What is that Granblue tweet? Okay, neither of those important. Oh no, yeah, we're dying. We are definitely dying here. Yo, Southern Pandas, how you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the raid. How's everyone doing? My name is Cosmic. Hope you're doing well this evening. We're just playing some Granblue Fantasy, checking out the Steam update for those who want to jump in and see how things are going. Just catching the end of our stream, unfortunately, because I have not been feeling the best, so we will be ending soon. But hope you've been good, brother. Hope everything's been well on your end. No, I definitely feel that. I'm getting a little bit sick myself, but trying to hold on best I can. All right, well, hey, Ko came to the front line. Oh, and Tyra died, so now we are very dead. All right, so yeah, this is definitely something you're gonna have to power through the Sirio Academy, and you should be able to clear this guy, not a problem. Once you get like the next big grid upgrade. Oh, actually, we just got our support call back here. Yeah, otherwise, like, these other summons are not doing us any favors. Oh, do we not get the heals for this either? Damn. Oh, right. The green button is for heals, which don't happen in full auto. I keep forgetting about that. Too late. I did not heal in time. That was my bad. So that is the other thing to keep in mind if you are trying to do something full auto. Anything that is a green skill button will not trigger automatically. There are a bunch of other ways to heal passively, like that'll work in full auto through other skills that'll just like heal in addition. But if it is a green button, and by green I just mean literally this outline, you do need to press it. So actually I probably, damn, I might have gotten pretty close actually to clear this if I would have done this team correctly. But still, I would recommend waiting until you get the second Sirios set up. So where are we at? We're at 13,000 gems. I know we have like a number of tickets because we got a few out of the. I guess I didn't select the. Hold on, we gotta get our. We gotta redeem our goodies. Okay, again, side stories, man. It's where the crystals are at. I'm telling you, 5,000 crystals is very nice. Oh, sorry, that was just not even. That was not even all of it. There's more. There's even more. Oh, you have to like literally refresh your stats on the side. I see. So yeah, 25,000 crystals in our first, first few hours. Okay, there's definitely enough to spark then, early on. Again, you don't want to put more pulls into this than you have to. You want to save for the banners on the 15th and the 30th. Those are the ones you actually want to spend your resources on. But for now, this is a good first look at what it has to offer from a Steam client. I will say, I think the Steam client's fine. The pricing of the coins is kind of whatever. It's not as expensive as apparently everyone was making it out to be, but I guess that's the internet, right? People are always going to over-exaggerate, stretch the truth, whatever. Yeah, paying $5 to $10 more sucks. I get it, but it's not like the end of the world. If you don't want to deal with like the Mobage currency and all that stuff on the browser, I will still say it's still probably best to start on browser just for the increased, or for the cheaper currency if you are going to be pulling. But if you can wait, or if you want to just do this as a pure free-to-play gameplay, I think this is fine. I think the Steam client worked great, and I also saw somebody say that it works on the Steam Deck as well if you have one of those. So, hey, definitely worth checking out. But again, I am starting to feel a little bit sick, and I'm not 100% yet, so I'm really trying not to push my luck. So I am going to be ending the stream here. I want to say thank you all for checking it out, and hopefully you're hydrating and keeping safe yourself. Otherwise, tomorrow we will be back with more Chaos Zero Nightmare before diving into the Enfield update. And if you have any questions on Granblue Fantasy, as always, feel free to drop by the Discord or ping me on Twitter. However you want to get a hold of me, happy to answer some questions about the game. But for now, my friends, hopefully you have a good rest of the night or a good rest of your evening, all that good stuff. So until next time, stay safe, stay hydrated, and we'll see you next time in the next stream. Cheers.